This one out on Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever recorded. And today, we're going down to Tampa Bay because somebody needs to get punished. Let's go!
There's good taxes in Tampa Bay.
Bro, it's the most random city for this movie to take place in.
Isn't that where Bruce Campbell wanted to get to in Ash versus the Evil Dead?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was also very random.
Right.
But yeah, I was going to ask if anybody knew Punisher better than me. Is Tampa a setting for? I always thought it was New York was where the Punisher was.
It was a tax break for the film.
That's what it was. They're like, all right, it could be in New York. It's gritty. It's cool. It's, where every comic book takes place.
Yeah.
Or hear me out. We could shoot this in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah.
And that'll be just as cool.
Well, there's
location.
half the budget.
Right.
Really?
What, a $30 million budget shot in 40 days?
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
And no room for reshoots.
$30 million budget, 42 days. In Tampa, that was great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that in New
Downtown.
York? That's the easy $70 million.
How did not
right
get
there.
at least one cameo from Hulk Hogan if they shot in Tampa Bay? Doesn't he live there?
Yeah, he should be in. He probably is in the background of something,
Somewhere,
just
right?
standing in the background,
Chucking a dog into the ocean?
Hey, brother.
I thought Hulk Hogan said he auditioned for this role.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably did.
Yeah, amongst his many other lies.
He'll tell you a story about it if you ask him.
He ripped his shirt off, and they're like, "No, you got to wear that."
Well, you see, they were going to make me the Punisher, brother.
He got booed.
And he said, I had to lose one of the fights. I said, that's not going to work for me, brother.
Oh my dude, he got booed out of the building on Netflix.
I know. I was so sad.
Yeah, they won't let me.
Oh
shoot
man, well
my
you
beard.
you
Have you seen him with his mustache shaved?
No.
He did a special ops movie. I don't remember what it was called.
Assault on Devil's
Assault
Island.
on Devil's Island. No mustache. It's horrifying to look at.
Isn't that Three Ninjas movie? The
Mega Mountain. too.
yeah, isn't he shaved in that?
I think he might be. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that in a long time.
Yeah, the
Jim Barney classic.
That's right. So I just want to say welcome in, everybody. We've got the Human Movie Database, Ryan Farrell, in the house. Hello, sir.
How are you?
I am fantastic.
You sounded quite jovial with that intro.
Yeah, I'm in a good mood today.
You missed like the Tom Jane broodingness
Yes.
of that line.
I know, but I have to just scream it. That's, I know he was brooding as hard as he possibly could brood. as far as Thomas Jane is capable of brooding.
Yes, right.
Anyway.
Yes.
But, we got to do things a little different. We also got the manimal, Bob Hauser, in the house. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Dude, I think the first person I ever watched this with was you.
I remember
Did we go to the theater to see this?
a couple weeks afterwards because
Yeah.
I went to see you and Brady and I think Fleming went and saw Kill Bill, and I said, I'm going to go see Punisher, and you looked me dead in the eye and said, we're going to see a better movie. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that sounds about right.
And I was right.
I had a lot of fun with Punisher.
Sure.
I didn't see Kill Bill 2 until last year.
And I'm going to have a lot of fun destroying this movie. Also
Wow.
here today, we have David. Welcome, sir.
Hello, sir.
How are
How do
you?
we do? So great. So great.
I know we haven't known each other for a long time, but I know that you're a fellow comic aficionado.
Absolutely nerd.
So how big was Punisher in your, growing up as far as
Well,
character?
everyone loved the Punisher back in the 90s when I was collecting comic books at a pretty staggering rate. And
Even the people that raided the White House January 6th.
well, I was going to say, thank God for the Punisher, because now you can see where all the rednecks are, because they all have Punisher stickers on the backs.
I'm sorry, not the White House. What was it? The Congress? I don't even go. I don't know.
Well,
Capitol building.
Capitol building.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Try to keep up.
that,
Sorry, my apologies. I was thinking Olympus has fallen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie.
the skull has been used for in the military. Like those dudes use it when they're actually doing war stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of this bullshit movie. Anyway, I don't mean to bury the lead there.
No.
But anyway, yeah, Punisher's great as
Yes.
a character.
Awesome.
So
All right. Well, look, boys, we're going to do what we always do here. We're going to go through the vitals. I'll tell you everything you need to know about the movie, about the people that made the movie, what the ratings are, how it qualifies for this movie. And then we're just going to go scene by scene through this. And then we're going to give some awards at the end. Okay. Who was good? who was bad, who made the movie better, even though they might have only had a small little part. And then at the end, we're going to decide, is this a good movie, a bad movie, or a bad movie? That rules. Okay. So to just jump straight in, we were talking about The Punisher from 2004, the Thomas Jane one that was also co-starring John freaking Travolta at the height of his popularity, and also Samantha Mathis, last seen on BMR during Broken Arrow. If I don't know if any of you guys were, you were on Broken Arrow.
I was.
Right? Yep. She was running around in the desert with Christian Slater, and she's back again. And then this movie was directed by Jonathan Hensley. Is that how you say it, Ryan?
Yes, Jonathan Hensley.
Okay. And I'm going to assume you know all about this guy.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are some of his other works that we would be familiar
So Jonathan Hensley, who was a screenwriter in the 90s, he had a really good working relationship with Jerry Bruckheimer. He wrote Die Hard with a Vengeance, and then he did uncredited rights.
Did he?
Yes, and then he did uncredited rights on The Rock, Con Air, things like that.
Oh my God.
No.
Yep. And guess what? Armageddon was his original screenplay.
Okay.
Before, yes.
So with his name on, you just named off like 4 or 5 classics. Of course, he's going to eventually get his shot at directing himself.
He didn't even want to direct this movie.
He didn't.
No, he was writing the movie.
Right. We see he co-wrote it with Michael.
He was
France.
writing the movie,
I get it.
and more or less, Artisan was like, "Hey, you want to direct?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know, I guess."
Yeah.
So that was one of those things.
Well-
But you're right. Like in theory, he was actually Jonathan Hensley. In the late '90s, was going to have his directorial debut be the first Hulk movie.
Oh, the Ang Lee one that eventually became...
Before the Ang Lee one.
Okay, yeah,
so
right.
Jonathan Hensley was gonna do the Hulk, and that never panned out. So they gave him Punisher.
So they gave him a better comic book character from Marvel. Cool.
Where do you keep it? Where do you keep all that? Is that why you have the same haircut as me? Yeah. You just, the hair fell out
It
because
just-
of memory?
Yeah, it just kept expanding.
My man.
Plus my
Great.
follicles.
Just get every day he comes in, it looks a little bit bigger, doesn't it? Don't you think his head's getting bigger or pointier at least?
I mean, yeah, he's starting to look like Peter Skarsgård from Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Having an orgasm with brainwaves.
Awesome. All right, so we didn't forget to mention one also very important actor that appeared in this movie. Mr. Will Patton himself is in this movie.
Yep.
It's been a hot minute since Will has featured in a film that we've actually covered, even though we give out an award every single episode with his name on it. So I'm very excited about that.
I wonder, when was the last Will Patton movie?
I think it was The Post.
It was, honestly, I'm pretty sure it was The Postman.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a Will Patton movie since.
Right. That was like the 25th episode we did or something like
Yep.
that. It was like pretty early on.
That was where the namesake came from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie currently sits at a 6.4 on IMDb. That's pretty high as far as the kind of movies that we've covered here on the show. But here's how it qualifies, because over there on Rotten Tomatoes, those movie critics, those pesky critics said 29% of critics only gave this a positive rating, which makes it far below the threshold for it being rotten. Even though the popcorn meter, the audience, 2/3 of the audience are like, no, this is good. 63%. That's how it qualifies. The critics have labeled this a bad movie, and we got to see if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's true.
Well,
I can't. I love it. If the
see.
line's going to be right here and it's those two versus us two, I say bring it on.
we'll see how it goes, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there.
I hope I didn't give myself away being that guy that, wore the shirt for the movie.
Oh my gosh, you do have a Punisher shirt.
That's not your fault. This
And-
is a show us where the bad man beats you. That's what you. That's what this movie is.
Now, if I remember right, Bob, you loved, at least back then, you loved this movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if you still love this movie as we go through it or not. How long has you watched it? I'm assuming before the show.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Okay, so how long had it been though since you had seen it?
Many years.
Okay, so it has been a long time. It wasn't one that's in your regular rotation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully BMR is in your guys' regular rotation. And we appreciate everyone that's listening right now, whether you're in your car, at home, at work, wherever, slacking off. We don't care if you're doing your job. Just keep listening to Bad Movies Rule. If you want to get more connected with the show, you can reach out at our email address, which is thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, or you can call 262-757-8567. Leave us a voicemail. We'll answer both of those on one of our mailbag segments that we do periodically. And then if you want to support the show, we're we're an independent show. We would love your support, but also we want to give you something for that support. So if you want access to all these other bonus shows that we only do exclusively on Patreon, exclusive episodes you'll never hear anywhere but there, you can join patreon.com/badmoviesrule and get a litany of extra bonus shows. We got Bob does a show on there. The Madalas do a horror show on there. Kurt talks about cartoons on Patreon. We talk about good movies sometimes, at least once a month, and it's a lot of fun. So we appreciate everybody that does that, and we appreciate you all who's listening right now. Let's pay some bills.
The time is 2004.
Way to set the scene.
Okay, well, here's the thing with The Punisher, though, because like you said, April 16th,
Yeah.
2004.
That's my
That
birthday.
was, is it really?
April 16th.
2004?
Came out on my birthday.
Wow.
So you're only 20?
No,
Not the day I was birthed.
right.
So
You look fantastic.
Well, you know.
literally the same day was when Kill Bill Volume 2 came out.
Really?
Yes, April 16th was Kill Bill Volume 2 and The Punisher, and then the next week, April 23rd, was Man on Fire.
It was a bad time to release a movie.
It was, I mean,
And the week before that was Hellboy.
Was it
yeah,
really?
actually, yeah. And a week before that was Hellboy. So now you have what? That's 4 vigilante-themed films.
Hey, but all that does
Right
is
there.
just show the current state of film. You could just go to the movies 20 years ago, and every week there's a banger coming out, right? And it's just like,
I mean, a week before
Maybe
that
you
was
get-
Passion of the Christ, right?
maybe you get 3 movies that are good coming out a year anymore. It's just like,
Yeah.
what a murderer's row. That's
Right,
amazing.
Passion of the Christ was a banger.
Yeah,
That was-
it was. That's one of the one of the highest grossing movies of all time. I was on the edge of my seat. I didn't know what was going to happen.
No.
Jews didn't like it.
Yeah, I like the book better than the movie. All right,
There you go.
Here we go. Tampa, Florida. Okay, and we've got a shady deal going down at the docks, like we've seen in 4,000.
Oh my gosh.
Let's start the movie the way we start all these. I blame Spider-Man for this.
Why is it Spider-Man?
Because Spider-Man is the reason they started making all of these. And that is why the Punisher is here. And that is why we had to start off in the most unpunisher way. Go ahead. Okay.
And when that's
Hey.
why we ended up. This is 4 years before we'll call it, since we're already on the theme, the come to Jesus moment for Marvel, where in 2008 they finally got their crap together.
You mean this is the original MCU?
Okay, this is
The
pre-MCU.
The OG MCU.
So you file.
Tom Jane's Punisher, Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Eric Bana's Hulk. Yeah.
Bryan Singer's X-Men.
Oh yeah, that one.
Got to throw those in there.
I guess, yeah. Sam
Elektra.
Raimi's Spider-Man, whatever.
Blade,
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. Mhm.
They had a lot of these characters, but they didn't. It's clear to me they didn't know what the frick they were doing yet. I don't know if it was Feige that they need, although Feige had his hands in a lot of those pre-MCU movies too.
Yeah.
Back then, not as the guy in charge, but like as a consultant and stuff. So
He was the mail guy.
he cracked the code eventually on how to do this.
He kept sitting in the meetings and saying, "Hey, you guys really don't know what you're doing." And after 4 years, they're like, "All right, what's your freaking idea, Kevin?"
Kind of like his idea.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
let's let Mailboy take a shot at this.
Yeah, and that code is pretty simple. It's stick to the source material as close as you can because the nerds will care. The
Yes.
people that don't know aren't going to say anything about it, and the source material's pretty good. So you don't need to
No.
jazz it up whatever way to PG-13 it or whatever else.
Jazzed it up.
So
Was this PG-13?
no, it wasn't, but a lot of them were that shouldn't have been. And
It felt. Do you think it felt PG-13?
yep.
This one?
Even if it wasn't, you think this one didn't?
No, the violence is way too.
No. Maybe it's because I just
Well,
watched Evil
but
Dead
if you
Rise.
let's say you edit out that violence,
Evil Dead
it's-
Rise would change your perspective.
Sorry, go ahead.
if you edit it out,
Yeah.
you made a couple of cuts,
Yeah.
mostly with piercings, you could probably get away with a PG-13.
Yeah.
I don't know. He stabbed a dude in an anus.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Stabbed.
The-
Stabbed this guy's hand in the anus and then ripped the blade right up through his jaw.
Yeah, but anyone
Yeah.
that's ever eaten Taco Bell knows what that feels like.
That's true.
Wasn't it? Well, didn't they sponsor this?
They did.
Sponsored by Taco Bell.
As soon as he lifted the knife, it was like boom.
Take out the knife.
All right, so there's a shady arms deal going down. We got snivelly Italian guy with better looking Italian kid, standing next to him. We don't know who these people are yet. But here comes Thomas Jane, who looking very unpunishery. He's got his blonde hair, and he's like, I'm Otto Krieg, and I sell the weapons, and I have very long cigarettes. So does this make you angry? You know, he's like a Russian, French, German.
Yeah,
I couldn't really place.
You
the
know what?
accent.
Just Russian, French, German bad guy.
Yes,
that's it.
A lot of accents in there.
right.
And the cigarette. I was watching this with my wife, and she said, "Do they even make those cigarettes anymore? Who smokes those cigarettes?"
It's 3 feet long.
It was 3 feet long. He looked like and this is why I was mad, because it was like a cartoon villain walking up to him, like, "Hello, boys. Would you like to buy a gun or two? I'm wearing flip flops. Isn't that unique?"
He was wearing flip flops.
Junk, and he was walking on top of I'm so eccentric, and I walking on top of the cargo.
Oh, that's right.
And then how'd you get down from there? There's no ladder, and it was hanging from a chain. Did you just Mario Brother off of that?
In your flip flops?
In your flip flops.
Crap.
They were probably steel toed.
You guys and the logistics.
The weapons deal goes as on for about 2 minutes before the cops show up from everywhere.
Yes.
And Otto, starts throwing a fit, waving his gun around, and gets blasted. Thomas Jane is killed in the first 2 minutes of this movie.
Yes.
Okay? And I don't know. I thought he was dead.
Very specifically by one FBI agent.
Yes.
Whereas then the other SWAT team just lights up everyone else.
Well, only because good-looking Italian kid says, my dad's going to be so mad at me.
Bobby.
While swinging around his gun like it's a laser pointer.
Right.
You being this criminal mastermind, like, you don't know not to wave a gun around when the FBI has surrounded you? Maybe you should just put that down and then be like, this guy.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't a criminal mastermind.
No.
Well, he was still an idiot.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he was autistic.
Jeez.
Wow, what pointed that out?
Jeez. All right. They end up smoking. It ends up being Howard Saint's kid. Okay, Mickey is the sniveling Italian kid and the only one to survive. Everybody else gets mowed down.
Yeah.
They bring all the bodies into like the next dock building or whatever, and Otto just sits up out of his stretcher, and it's Frank Castle, undercover cop. Right, and he's taking all of his stuff off and his squibs. And who's the kid that we just iced? I don't know, some scumbag. We're running everybody right now. Walks out of a room filled with dead bodies into a party.
Yeah.
Right.
Then in the next room, like, we're gonna just have drinks and party.
Yeah.
Cool with everybody. All these dead bodies are over here.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
This is when did you plan the party? Listen, as soon as he gets the squibs off, we could surprise him. I brought some chips, and he's going to retire. Maybe we could do it then. I don't know. What if this all goes tits up and this is terrible?
Yeah, they probably didn't think anybody was going to get shot. But then once they do, somebody like, should we cancel?
Exactly.
Stuff like
a kid died. You know, a kid died. Well, yeah, but I bought the cake.
That's right. I already pinned up the dot matrix happy retirement or thing we shot out of one of those things, and they're like, surprise. Should have been it.
And this is when he starts his Punisher voice too.
That's right.
When after he sits up, he's like, I don't want to say anything too loud because the Punisher wouldn't do that. And then you see his Sharpie marker hair.
Yeah.
And
wow, you have a lot of feelings about this.
He does.
I didn't realize how many feelings I had about this because it had been a lot of years since I've seen it. And then when I saw it this time, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So this was your first viewing in how long?
It was probably 7 to 10 years since I've seen it. And I didn't have a lot of fun with it. I was just sitting there going, what have you done to my boy? What is this?
I'll tell you, I appreciated this movie more.
Did you?
This is gonna be great.
What did you think of this opening scene?
It's 2004.
It was. It's like
if you think this badly about this, I can't wait to see what you say about Dolph Lundgren.
Lundgren's Punisher.
Yeah. Well, that's barely Punisher. That's like we wanted to make a ninja movie and
we just put Punisher on the DVD box.
We put the skull on the end of one knife because then we can say it's a
That was it though, because like Artisan had bought the rights to the character. And then they
just had to make something.
All right, well, we got to make something.
Right.
And yeah, exactly.
As Frank Castle's leaving, somebody's like, oh, it turns out that was Howard Saint's kid. And Frank's like, well, that sucks. Bye. Heading out to Puerto Rico. Good luck with all of that. because we're getting on with our live.
I mean, that's pretty much the sentiment of the whole scene, and even the way you're delivering it is virtually the enthusiasm of everybody as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I will give you credit for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
They didn't care much. It didn't seem like, well, we gave him some cake. See you, Frank.
Yep.
Should we tell him now? We cut to Howard Saint, John Travolta, and his very attractive wife, and not Olivia, just Livia, and the other son. What's the other son's name? It's not Bobby.
John.
Johnny No Sleeves.
Johnny No Sleeves, and Quentin Glass, played by Will Patton, walk into the room to tell Howard Saint that his son is killed, and almost immediately they go to scoop up Mickey and bring him in to be interrogated. You know, and as they grab him, he's like,
Don't hit me.
"Don't hit me." It's like,
don't hit me.
Cut to them kicking him. And technically, they listen to you.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not hitting you. He's getting kicked on the ground until Quentin Glass walks in, and Will Patton's. This is one of the many reasons that he has his name on this award. Is that he's so freaking lasered in every time he talks to anybody. Mickey's like, please, and he's just dead staring him. And then when he says to him, he goes, "If you're gonna kill me, leave my face alone for my mother." And he goes, "If I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't have bailed you out of prison. And if I wanted to kill people on the inside in a way that I can only describe as deeply pornographic," right? And because you're a piece of garbage, and I don't want the death, your karma of your death on my soul. That whole line was so good, right?
There are moments in this movie that are so chef's kiss.
Yes.
And then there's the rest of it.
Dude, but that got me hyped. This Will Patton interrogating piece of crap Mickey, that didn't get you hyped?
Of course I was hyped.
I enjoyed it.
I literally texted you last night that exact line.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You texted Bob.
I texted Bob that exact line at like 10:30 last night.
Deeply pornographic.
But it is some way I could describe as deeply pornographic. But I don't want the karma, your death on my soul.
That's right. That's right. So good.
I love his raspy whisper badass voice.
Then again, I don't know if I believe in karma, so.
That's right. So get up, right? He's just going to do it. In walks Howard Saint, John Travolta, looking very John Travolta with his ever-moving hairline. And in this one, he's got like almost like the Swordfish haircut.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the haircut he had in Swordfish with the middle part thing going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said, "The man responsible for my son's murder must die." And it's just like shoots
Words and words and script and words.
He shoots his other bodyguard. He's like, "But Mr. Saint, he told me it was Bobby's idea." Thank you.
Then he shoots him again.
Oh, Mr. Saint, you shot me again. Play 3 times. He shoots. Mr. Saint.
He does. I'm almost dead now. Please, whatever you do, don't shoot me again.
Please.
Oh, well, you did.
I'm really shot up.
Yeah. This hurts. Yeah. I don't mean to like jump the gun here, but Will Patton kind of does that.
Well, I know. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I like how the guy, as he's like doing this, but Mr. Saint, he said, but Mr. Saint, Bobby wanted to impress you.
Yeah.
And that's like John Travolta gets pissed about that. He's like, my son didn't need to impress me. And then he finally kills him.
That's right.
I don't think he sounded like that. He was very calm.
Yeah, he was very calm.
My son didn't need to impress me.
Well, thank you for that. My son didn't need to impress me.
Did we watch the same movie?
I don't know.
Yes, we did. I guess it was
Travolta. It depends on what mode Travolta is in when he's, and I felt like this was him withholding a little bit, trying to withhold, because there's full 11 Travolta like Face Off and Broken Arrow where he's like, "Go, goddamn, what a rush," and all that stuff that he does and whatever, and like he wasn't doing any of that.
No.
Okay.
No.
So this was him trying to be understated. I felt like.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was.
This was also kind of the downslope too.
The beginning of it for him.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. Because
after Pulp Fiction, when did it stay good? Like he was great in Pulp Fiction, but then after that, did he
Face
do
Off?
any?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Come on.
Get Shorty.
Get Shorty was
Yeah.
good.
Actually, see, this was because then they did the sequel to Get Shorty, Be Cool, which came out, and that did not
Swordfish.
good. Swordfish was great.
I like Swordfish. That was 01 or 99. I don't remember.
01.
01, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Travolta kind of had that resurgence with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Maintained it with Get Shorty. Say what you will about Broken Arrow. I love Broken Arrow.
I like the movie.
Broken
but
Arrow,
he is
Face
off
Off.
the charts in Broken Arrow.
Yes.
Okay.
He's
Off the
awesome.
charts.
He is
Awesome.
awesome.
He's
off
great
the
in Face
charts.
Off too. Now that I'm
Yes.
thinking about it. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, Swordfish. I thought he was great in Swordfish. And
It's
this
like
was it.
looking into a mirror, only not.
No.
Yeah. Him doing Nicolas Cage impressions the whole movie.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
He had Ladder 49.
All right.
The same year.
Yeah. That wasn't great, was it?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Travolta goes in to identify his son's body, and there's a cop just on duty.
It's Agent Weeks.
Jimmy Weeks, the original villain in the
Weeks.
director's cut.
Was it really going to be him?
Yes. There's a whole 30-minute plot with Jimmy Weeks.
Shut up. They just cut it out?
Yeah, you can
This
buy
movie
the
was
extended
2
cut.
hours already.
It was 2 hours and 25 minutes. They cut
Dang.
25 minutes subplot out of
Have
it.
you watched it?
What
Yeah.
does he do?
Is it good?
It's in the collection he gave you.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's in that.
Watch it.
Yeah,
Is it a better movie?
I mean, the 04 versions, they both have their ups and downs, but yeah.
Okay.
I honestly didn't like the Weeks thing, the Jimmy Weeks subplot.
What does he do?
It's
What
literally
does he-
just that Jimmy Weeks is the one who said like how they're having the conversation in the next scene where they're like, oh, in 24 hours, going to know everything about Otto Krieg.
I see. So he was the guy that.
So
gave
Jimmy
him up.
Weeks is actually like the FBI agent on the inside who's actually working for Howard
That's
Saint.
what made me weird when he's in the morgue and here's his son's body and he's like, who is Otto Krieg? Who is his family? Who is his friends? And I'm just like, this cop's not just going to be like, oh, well, let me write it down for you.
So right after that scene, they cut to the Cuban brothers.
Yeah.
The Del Toro brothers.
Yeah, at their casino where Jimmy Weeks is at, and Howard Saint rendezvous with them there and says that man knows who killed my son. So they.
He works as a busboy there or something? Or what?
No, he's there with a bunch of women gambling money he doesn't have. So
Oh.
they get him on a gambling debt and a bunch of other crap. And Howard Saint approaches him and says, "Tell me now who killed my son."
Well, that
And-
makes more sense.
And Jimmy Weeks says Otto Krieg, that's not his real name, so gives him up. And by the end of the movie, Frank figures it out and makes Jimmy commit suicide.
Because does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
the last time we see Jimmy Weeks is that one scene where Frank just pulls up in front of like the press.
Yeah.
And he's like, not one person's in jail. All right, bye. And then we never see him again.
Yeah.
For the rest of the
That
movie.
scene goes on where he's like, "Who gave me up?"
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, it was made me wonder why he didn't dig into that. Right.
So they cut around there. They're just like, "You'll know everything about Otto Krieg in 24 hours," and then
Okay.
they got the information like, "Yeah, it's
1-800. They called 411.
It's the
Figure-
mob.
I don't
They know how to-
They just
the mob."
right. Just pull it out of somebody's
Organized
ass.
crime, man. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That
All
makes
they got to
it
do is
so
put a
much
hot,
better.
a hot poker up somebody's ass, and then they'll find out who he is.
Absolutely.
That's what Bob does.
Hope you don't have a seizure, buddy.
Sorry, go ahead. Dude.
No, I was just gonna say that makes so much more sense. If they would have shown just a chunk of that, so that one, we knew how they found out that Otto Creed
Yeah.
was was undercover, because there's no reason for them to look for him.
No.
He's dead as far as they know.
Right.
So I don't know. I didn't get it how like all of a sudden they were like, here's a folder full of everything you need to know about Frank Castle.
All of it.
Well, because there's a throwaway line of dialogue and that's it.
It's even got
So
Thomas
you wanted
Jane's
to have more of
headshot
the
in there
scene.
from the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go to Puerto Rico. It's where this family vacation is happening. It's family reunion as they're walking down the dock or the beach with Roy Scheider making his first appearance since Jaws 2.
Absolutely.
Right?
Hunting more sharks.
He's smacking a oar on it going, "Ah!" He's hunting more sharks.
He's
He's
throwing
out on the-
a power line into a great white's mouth.
Right. He's there.
More
and
like a gas barrel.
I talk about the ham-fisted expo.
Everybody got that?
Hey, isn't that mysterious witch doctor that lives, out on the reef? Or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll need that information for later.
Right, I think they got it from here. It's a two-man show.
No, feel free to defend it at
I'm-
any time.
There's
Okay?
nothing. You know
There's
what?
so many
But
movies
there's
that you
nothing
sit
to
there and defend, and you're over the same qualities that they have. And this movie has no exception. This movie all of a sudden has no exception. You can't use cliches in this movie.
No, I'm just pointing them out. Right?
Yes.
You're pointing out the shit-eating grin.
But that's why we're here, right? That's
Isn't that why?
that's why we're here.
Oh,
is
it's just
to-
funny. The hypocrisy is great.
It doesn't mean that it's bad.
Fine.
I relentlessly destroyed movies that I loved, and at the end I said it was pretty good.
I'll get him on fire.
That's what we're doing.
You want to
gonna
see
see
me get
what
him on fire? I wonder who his Will Patton Award is.
Shut up. I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
No, you could have made a reference right there.
Yeah, what's that?
I'll give you 2 guesses, but you only need 1.
But you only need 1. That's what I was trying to do.
Damn it, AJ.
All right. They go to dinner. They're at dinner. Roy Scheider, the whole family, his entire family is in Puerto Rico.
It's
even
his wife's family,
even
too.
his second cousins
His
are there.
wife's family, his family, their second cousins, third cousin, twice removed.
We just want to make sure that there's not a single castle that's not at this party.
Literally
His cousin that he first saw boobs on.
That's right.
Exactly.
Her, she's there. Right? She's the older one that gets killed first, I
But
think.
all of you family members pale in comparison to the Frank Castle spawn that they made for us.
Right.
Yes.
Because they're like, we're all here, and look what they made.
Yes.
They made me a grandson.
Yep.
Who was a booger-eating moron. Anyway, okay.
This kid is an idiot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
This kid has 2 scenes.
They have to, well, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
They have to jam.
The kid has 2 scenes.
They have to jam so much relationship into 3 scenes. All you get, because you have to believe by the time that they get killed that it matters, right? And so you get the scene where he comes home and he goes, I'm home from my last mission, and I'll go talk to my son in the doghouse because he's
Yes, the moving
I almost
scene.
said a word you can't say anymore.
That scene sucked too. When he walks in to see his wife for the first time, and she walks up like some kind of clairvoyant and looks in his stupid dead eyes and goes, "Oh, this was a hard one, wasn't it?" Shut up. They're all hard ones. What are you talking about? He's an undercover agent. He's been gone for months. You think that this was just like, oh, walk in the park? No, this was like eating a blizzard on the beach, honey. No big whoop. But you could really pull that out of my eyeballs. Thank you, dear. As soon as I started cracking up, probably one of the few times I laughed in this movie was when she came up and said, "Oh, this was a hard one, wasn't it?"
It was the last one.
Yeah, and then it was the last one, honey. It's all flip flops from now on.
So now they've only had that one scene. So now you got to get another quick scene to show once they love each other. So he walks away from the dinner to walk on the beach by himself, and his wife follows after him so that they can make out. Which I'm not criticizing. I know they've got to get a lot of work in because we all know what's going to happen. Right? Everybody knows there's no Punisher unless his whole family gets wiped out.
Right.
It's like,
Well, it was originally just his kid and his wife, but yeah.
right. But
The whole family.
But can we get going here?
Because you know that if we watched a Batman movie, at least most Batman movies, it's after they were killed, we just flash back to it. But if they decided to start before,
You like flashbacks.
every scene with Martha and
Thomas.
thank you, with Martha and Thomas Kent.
Don't say that name.
Why did you say that? I'm getting all twisted up. You knew that every scene with them, everyone would just be, whether it was 2 or 3 scenes, you'd be like, when are they getting killed?
Dude, I
so
love
it's the same thing with this.
I love the shot of the pearls just falling in slow motion.
I know it's your favorite. You love to see. You get
You love a pearl necklace?
He can't get hard unless he sees Martha Wayne get killed.
Dang, why did you say that name? Wow, that's got to make for a weird home life. Honey, play the video. Just play the
Just
video.
play the video. This is the only way I can get hard. I need to see some execution.
He hooks up with his wife on the beach. I assume. I don't know.
Dirty sand sex.
We have a lot of romance to get in. Will Patton delivers the intel after the funeral. He's like, this is everything you need to know about. He's actually an undercover cop named Frank Castle, and they're going through the whole thing. And he says, all right, you got a chance. You have a window before he goes to London where he's in Puerto Rico with his whole family. They know all this because now it makes sense because the guy that knew he was going to Puerto Rico
Why does it matter?
told him.
Right.
Okay.
You
Anyway,
guys don't need that information.
Olivia lifts up her veil, his wife, and says, his whole family, right? Is that what...
She's like,
His whole family. Hold on a second. Excuse me, sir. With my murder, I don't want a single murder. I would like all the murders, please. if you're bringing murder, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She was very upset because of her autistic kid getting killed.
yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Is that what you want? Just turns and nods at Will Patton.
Just
Will
that.
Patton. Okay. All right.
family.
Whole family.
Whole family. We're sending the whole crew.
I'm like, damn, Travolta, I understand a happy wife, happy life, but all right.
Yeah,
just kill them all. Kill them all, I guess. She'll be happy.
Hey, whatever works.
Okay.
Whatever
Fine.
works.
His son down in Puerto Rico buys him a T-shirt. A very special T-shirt for the Punisher.
Oh,
It's the same T-shirt that he's
Okay, hold on. Jake Lloyd, right? right? You hate his guts. And I'm
my
assuming you hate his guts because he sucks. This kid having to wake up.
It's off limits, buddy.
Okay, whatever. I didn't know. Sorry. I didn't know that there was a thing.
He hates his performances, not the person.
Yes, performances. Yes, Jake Lloyd's performances were terrible.
He feels bad for how
Okay,
the person's
perfect.
been.
Well, that's just in keeping with that.
Keep it
This kid's performance of just waking up was like, I'm waking up. Get it?
Yeah, it was very.
I was asleep when my daddy came home, and I was sleeping with my T-shirt that I bought him, and it's all wrapped in a. Why would you sleep with that shirt?
Yeah.
Why would you sleep with the shirt?
He was so excited to give it to his
He had
father.
it stuffed down
Oh,
his
is that
pants.
why?
He had
Yeah.
it stuffed
Okay.
down his pants.
Yeah.
But
And
anyway,
meanwhile, while he's waking up, they're having sex conversations behind his head.
Exactly. Let's
are.
where do babies come from?
like
Oh,
this.
nothing.
yeah. They're just doing the whole thing.
Later on, hopefully this kid doesn't wake up, but we're gonna get it on.
Whoa! There, while this is all going on, this pieced out mafia crew is just loaded to the nines, walking up the beach towards this bungalow where everyone else, they were sleeping. Everyone else is outside on the patio having lunch or something. I don't know what's going on.
Probably brunch.
Brunch, sure.
Yeah.
At this time, he decides to go hang out with his dad. Frank Castle is like, let's go hang out in the room full of guns. This right now, I'd like to see what you did with these Colt 1911s. I think it was 1911s. Or whatever.
It is.
Right. And he's like, yeah, no, I added all this stuff to him. Now they're real nail drivers. I like Roy Scheider. I was happy he was in here for 2 minutes. The guy's awesome.
Yep.
Bought everything he said.
I needed to make you some Punisher weapons. So I bored the barrels on these and put some cool silver parts on the end.
Because otherwise I was just,
Compensators.
because I
Yes,
needed
they're-
those to hunt turtles down here in Puerto Rico.
What is it compensating for?
I ran out of air tanks and rifles, and
That's
all the
right.
sharks are dead around here. So, so I want to let you know that there's no similarities or coincidence. It's not a coincidence that they're black and silver.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with your costume later on in the
That's right.
film.
They definitely aren't just to match your trench
Okay, the
coat.
trigger
I promise.
is silver, the tip is silver, and the rest of it is black.
But it's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence. I know what's gonna happen.
Jeez, Frank, not everything has to mean something.
Except this T-shirt, because the T-shirt, Daddy, the T-shirt wards off evil spirits.
That's right.
God damn.
I'd be the first person to put that shirt on if that was my kid.
All of a sudden,
I know. So would I.
all of a sudden, Grandma gets got right there.
Shot in the tummy.
She doesn't get run over by a reindeer.
I like it's one bullet before they open fire. That dude picked out Grandma from wherever he was and fired a single shot. It was like Grandma first.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Frank somehow knows that's like a bullet, not just indigestion or something, because he's like, Mom?
Yeah.
And then
All
let's
of a
load
sudden
the
he
guns,
started-
guys, because then that's when the idiot
The
killing
bullet
party
starts flying, and then these dudes, I mean, they're double barrel shotguns. And I'm like, all right. In my head, I'm going, how does his family get killed when they got all these guns and they're basically ready to fight?
Right.
They don't have that many.
How many does Frank Castle need?
Well,
He goes
I
there
think-
to load up.
That's right.
I think it would have made more sense for him to take the 1911s instead of a side-by-side 12 gauge.
That's
But
probably true.
Yeah.
He gets the first guy coming through the door.
Yeah,
yeah.
which is dope. Speaking of like, speaking of rays of light in this movie, that is a cool part. When the guy opens the door and he's like, and shoots him, that was very cool. I like that a lot. But then,
But then the next guy, they really have a hard time killing that next guy.
holy nuts!
Yeah,
they
this guy
sure
jumps
do.
behind the bar.
He jumps behind the barbecue.
Yes.
With a propane tank.
With a propane tank that immediately opens up to the world. And if you've ever played any video games, and maybe they haven't, but then you shoot the tank
Yep, which they eventually do.
eventually.
But
Right.
19 other people die before they figure that one out.
Yeah, and I love too how it was like, we're gonna get away by motorcycle, by boat. That dumbass that was on the catamaran, just like, all right, okay, we're gonna get out of here. I'm definitely not completely vulnerable out here. And the guy just walks down the beach and
They should have saved him for last.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
see how far he
see
got.
how far he
Like,
got and then shoot him anyway.
Yeah, good luck, Moana. You're still dead. Make way. Make way.
Oh my gosh. Roy Scheider gets shot and you think he's dead, but he actually comes up and stabs a dude in the back to save Frank, right? And the other two are making a run. I should have said this before. The wife and son had been hiding under a boat, are now going to make a run for the
Should have
truck.
stayed there.
There's no reason for them to move.
Just stay there.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
They
They
should've
didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Right.
They would have probably killed Frank and left
Yeah.
at that point, right?
You can't, though.
Frank tries, so he sees the family, he sees the two of them running for the truck, tries to get there, but he has to knife fight. This guy like trips him up and forces him to knife fight him, which he obviously is able to win. But at this point, they're already well down the road. The mom and son are driving a truck with a boat attached to it, and the other guys jump in their Jeep.
Good old school Chevy Blazer.
Or no, they're in a pickup truck, the red pickup truck, right?
Yeah.
With a boat attached on the bumpiest roads I've ever seen.
How do those guys not fly out the back of that truck when they hit some of those?
The
They're jumping.
stuntmen do.
That's what I'm saying.
If you see some of the cutaways, the stunt guys are literally falling out of the truck.
Cut to them
Yeah.
being right back in the truck,
Yes.
no problem.
Well, it seems like every car chase in this movie, they're on as bumpy roads as possible because every vehicle is like.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the boat on there was pretty cool.
Frank jumps on a bike, chases after them, so he's lagging behind big time, right? But they're get this car chase going until
This kind of sort of car chase, yeah.
Yeah.
they roll it. They roll the freaking truck. The mom and
Yeah. They get shot in the back tire.
that's right. Oh, that's right. They're kind of getting away.
The two henchmen,
They
the
fishtail out.
two truck bed henchmen,
Yeah.
got their Uzis and bam in the back tire.
Yeah, why didn't they shoot before that? That whole time they were right behind him.
It was too bumpy.
It's fine.
Because trope. Because either they are going to be like completely off, like G.I. Joe off
Right.
with bullets, or they are just surgical with that.
They try to run. First of all, she's like knocking on a door there's no one there. And they just run down the pier to try to get to Grandpa's boat, but the truck is able to get through and runs them over.
I saw that in another movie.
Was there another movie where people run over on a pier?
Yeah, I saw that in a better movie.
Oh.
Mad Max, 1979.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen that in 20 years.
That's how his family dies.
Is it?
Yeah, they run him
kidding.
over. The shot for shot, run him over.
Really?
On
Yeah.
a pier?
Wow.
No, in the road.
Oh, man.
It's on the road, yeah.
I mean, it's a very minor.
Because then it
coincidence.
would be Pier Warrior.
Pure warrior.
She got that kid killed, man. I mean, you got to do better than that.
Throw
I don't
the
know what you're doing. Throw the kid in
Flipping
the water
kid in the lake.
or something.
He probably
She was limping. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Good luck to you, kid.
The kid's arm was broken.
Who gives
They
a
were bleeding.
You'll be fine.
Arm is broken.
Yeah, they were just in a car crash and
Yeah, whatever.
junk.
I mean, the kid should have survived if they did the Van Damme thing, just lay down in between the.
Yeah.
There's many ways that kid could have survived.
Oh,
Or just take 2 steps to one side, and
Right.
that truck is going to hit the pier side before it's going to hit you.
give
guys.
it a little
that thing-
oop-de-oop or something.
That
Look.
truck was on a plot pulley, all right, being pulled by 50 Haitians,
Probably.
Yep.
Puerto Rico. It's in Puerto Rico, Bob.
Puerto Ricans.
Haitians can't work in Puerto Rico?
No. You're trying to take jobs away from hardworking Puerto Ricans?
My apologies. 50 Puerto Ricans
Okay.
and 1 blind man.
That's probably exactly what happened.
All right.
Frank gets out there. He catches up to the dead body of his family. Some incredible acting from Thomas Jr.
Oh, shut up.
Jeez Louise. I didn't think he was that bad.
Did I say some incredible acting, or did I say it was crappy?
With the look on your face, I could take it
You
several.
said credible, I think.
Yes.
It's credible.
Incredible acting.
I wouldn't say incredible.
His family just got killed.
I know. I'm aware of that. I'm not sure he was aware of that.
His little and his little stop and spin
Yeah.
didn't do it for you.
Not really.
No, his little
I thought
collapse
the
to
truck
his
was
knees.
gone. I didn't know the
No.
pier turned and took a left.
It was, what was it, a cul-de-sac at the end of the pier? There's not that much room for it to have time to turn around and be invisible. Like that. And again, this was the last time that my wife said anything about this before she fell asleep, I think. But she was like, where'd the truck go? Where's the truck? 5 minutes passed while he's like, my family, and let me just get my gun ready. And then all of a sudden, like a deer just burp.
That's what they do.
Comes around the corner and slowly like, we're about to have a face off here.
And Frank, I mean, does he kill any of them? He shoots the windshield a couple
No,
times
he doesn't.
and doesn't get.
There's
He
only
gets the
4
guy
of
in
them
the
left.
driver's seat, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
No.
That's why they
No,
crash into the gas.
no, because it's just 4 of them. It's Johnny's the driver, Quentin's sitting in the passenger seat, and then you got the 2
Yeah.
henchmen in the back in the
I thought he hit one of them in the.
They walk out.
No, he doesn't.
Frank holds the shotgun right at Will Patton, who must be real confident in his counting skills because he doesn't try to stop him.
He was feeling very lucky.
Yeah, and then he just click, guns empty.
Yeah.
Click.
And they just started whipping Frank Castle's ass, dude. He's already shot up a couple times.
Yep.
And then they're beating him. The son kicks him through the railing down into some kayaks.
Yeah, his random karate move that he all of a sudden has.
Drags him to the edge of the pier, shoots him in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Not the face.
Yeah.
Okay?
See, this is what I was gonna get at. You know, everything up until the point. Okay, fine. The logistics of the pier. Why did the family run? The mom and the kid could have just stayed. Okay, fine. But you know what? I'm willing to swallow
I know they
all
have
those
to
pills.
get killed.
Right?
That's not a huge deal to me because they have to get
No,
killed.
that stuff is that's fine. But then now you get to this moment of like, my father sends his regards.
Right.
Like, you're there to kill this dude specifically.
Right.
And all you do is like shoot him at an angle.
Yeah.
In the chest.
Right.
Like, you're not even like, first of all, if you're gonna kill someone, you got to shoot him twice in the chest, once in the face.
Right.
We all know that.
Execution style.
And then,
Let's just put one vaguely somewhere near his heart.
Yes.
Call it a day.
The Frank Castle death was very well done.
Very well done.
Yes, from a
Yes.
shot perspective, from everything, from punching him, kicking him, pushing him through the fence, him falling on all the canoes.
In the same sense that a well done steak tastes like then yes, I will agree with you.
all right, two things.
I thought it was good. I thought it was
things.
well set up.
Two things. A well done steak can be totally fine with A1 and onions.
Oh my lanta!
Thank you.
So then it's not a steak. You're eating a cheeseburger then.
Are you quoting Full House?
Did I? I don't
You
even.
did.
Oh, okay.
You did.
It's fine. Look, Bob, the death scene is fine. My only critique, him smacking him around, killing, they're shooting him up, all that stuff is fine.
Because they didn't shoot him in the face?
Shoot him in the face.
Well, okay, and then here's the follow-up to it. Shoot him in the face, and then you're dousing the whole pier in gasoline.
But not where he is.
But not on his actual body. You want to burn this guy to whatever, burn his remains. Put gas on the body.
Yeah.
You can actually, if you look at this scene, you can see Quentin regretting every single second of this entire hit.
Quentin Glass.
Movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quit. You just look. He doesn't pull the trigger once.
No.
You can just tell that he is just by his mannerisms, by his facial
He
expressions.
doesn't want to be there.
He does not want to be here.
No.
Like he's like had enough of this.
Right.
Yeah.
But they did the gas thing
But-
that I hate, where they're just.
Yeah. Oh, like,
Do you ever
got
think?
the-
Whoa, here's a theory. Do you ever think that Quentin did it on purpose?
you think so? Because
No.
he's
He
the
did
one,
put the
he's
bu-
the one that
He's
did
the one
gas.
that put the gas everywhere.
No.
Yeah, maybe. He
I don't know if he was like, that's a pretty long. That's a long game to play. Like maybe.
Is it though?
I don't know. He's a brilliant man. He's like,
maybe by some
didn't
shit
shoot
chance
him.
miracle, if he survives,
checking that
he'll
guy
come
out,
back
and
and
he was
kill
like-
Howard, and he'll free me of his servitude.
exactly.
And he'll make me get on my knees.
Yeah. What are you doing with a gun in Tampa?
What are you doing with your pants on there, Frank? That's not a knock. The character, obviously, spoiler alert, is gay.
Yes.
So, but I'm
Yeah.
not knocking Will Patton for.
No.
But the character, I'm just saying, Frank, I like your dad.
He's too cute to die.
That's right. That's maybe what it was. I thought he
I
was.
want this guy rolled on my steak with onions and A1 sauce.
That's right.
So
He
I'm
was
just
trying to get
saying,
it well
Quentin
done.
Glass
And then
is
he
the
will be
reason the
well
Punisher's
done.
still alive because he
Okay,
probably
all right.
doesn't like sleeveless, no tricep muscle gangster guy.
You're probably right.
Johnny,
Johnny. Next time I saw Johnny in a movie, he was in Gangster Squad. He got shot up pretty bad by Josh Brolin.
was he? I never saw him in anything except
So-
for this and The Great Raid.
The witch doctor
too.
comes. The witch doctor comes and collects him.
It's
And
me,
he's like, it's me,
Castle.
Frank. He literally was going to choke the life out of him. He's already
Which is
shot up.
I will take care of
that
you.
he still has energy after the ass whooping he took and a bullet in his chest.
Yeah.
And he's still like, and God bless him because he's Frank Castle. I understand. I know that I'm nitpicking and that this stuff is ridiculous because it's a movie, but I'll get there.
Is it okay? It's okay for John Wick, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Brian, it's okay for John Wick.
All right. I was going to save this for later, but I'll say it now, Bob.
It's okay.
I'll say it now.
It's okay for John Wick, right?
Yeah.
It's not okay for anybody.
I was going to say this
Here's why.
later,
What's that?
But I'll do it now.
Okay,
I gotta
do it
get
now.
it out. It's okay for John Wick. It's okay even for the Punisher. My problem is I never bought Thomas Jane was the Punisher.
No, I don't think anybody did.
And so that's why
he never did. I don't think he did.
Yeah, that's why when he does this stuff, I'm like,
He did.
Even if John Berthal or
Ray
Stevenson, I would buy it. They to me got over that hump of like, I believe this guy is the Punisher. I never got there with Thomas Jane.
I think Ray Stevenson is probably the most accurate Punisher.
For sure.
Yeah, he's
And that was
John Berthal's great.
Yeah,
he is. He's a little screamy for the Punisher too.
Well, he does that war cry. I love the war cry though.
Yeah, the war cry
really like
once
him.
is okay, but
I do like
anything
Lundgren.
he
I at
does
least
is-
buy him as the
Lundgren's okay
character.
too. Right.
I at least buy him as the character.
Yeah, and that was the biggest problem with this is just because you got jacked and dyed your hair, that doesn't make you the Punisher.
No.
And the reason it works in John Wick 2 and it doesn't work here is it took too long.
Right.
Like the reason it works in John Wick is because from minute 1 to, and then he's John Wick kicking ass by 10 minutes.
10 minutes in.
This is almost a half hour,
It's 35
minutes.
It's 35 minutes into the movie. I pulled
Before they pull him out of the water to start being the Punisher.
You mean a classically written screenplay?
For movies back then, yes. Like in the original, Superman.
30, 60, 30.
No, in the original Superman movie, it was forever till he was freaking Superman, right? I mean,
like an hour and some
until he
change.
flew away from the Fortress of Solitude, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it took for freaking ever.
It was like over
That's
an
why I
hour.
always watched Superman 2 when I was a kid because I didn't want to sit through the first hour of Superman of him not being Superman.
The first.
Quite a while.
This is what I mean when I said they hadn't figured out yet what the hell they were doing with the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even Ang Lee, he was forever till he was the Hulk,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yep.
So
Well, they had this origin story boner with these movies from Fox back in the day or whatever, whoever it was. But they wanted to tell the origin story of all these characters, which is fine. But your base demographic for these movies knows it. So you don't have to spend so much time on it. And you certainly don't have to have a 3-hour long kill all my idiot family scene before everybody gets the fact that this guy's going to be the Punisher.
That's not even the origin story, though.
What?
you mean they didn't get it right?
No, I'm saying, like, you're talking about wanting to have, like, the thing about the origin story, and it's not even the real origin story of the Punisher.
Exactly.
Because the origin story... Actually, if we're really going to nerd out, the origin story of the Punisher is that he was a Spider-Man villain first.
Right.
Right.
So...
Yeah.
But he still was doing that because his kid and his wife got
died.
murked. But that's all you had to do was murk his wife and kid, and you didn't have to make this
whole
like
thing.
I said, idiot massacre beforehand, just so everybody gets that he's this mad now.
Right. Well,
He's the Punisher now.
but I get it. That's why I'm happy James Gunn recently came out and said that there will be no origin story of Batman in his stuff. There will be no origin story for Superman in the new Superman movie. He's just already we don't need to do this anymore. But at the time, I get they didn't know. Now we've got this, 20 years of hindsight that they didn't have the benefit of having. They're doing it as they're learning it here.
Right.
But yeah, they felt like they had to do it back then. All right, so
Who knows what they felt.
So he goes. Frank gets brought back. It's obviously a while later because now he has a glued-on beard, and he gets pulled up
It's a great beard.
to the Puerto Rico house that's been boarded up, but all the guns are still inside.
All right. We're not taking these.
We're not taking these guns,
Even though a couple of them were probably used in murders.
right? Probably. He loads up. He gets all these guns and stuff, and as he's walking away, he still finds the shirt in the beach in the sand, right?
Yeah, sure.
And then the witch doctor
Yeah.
says,
Uh-huh.
well, he says it
Go
first
with
in another
God.
language, but then he says, go with God.
Von Gundia's castle. Go with God.
God's going to sit this one out.
There you go.
Which is
There you
badass. That is badass.
Got it.
That is
Good
one of the
stuff.
shining lights of this
Yeah.
movie. Is
That's
that
good stuff.
scene like, dude? Okay, I'm getting there. It
Bro.
took me a while, but I'm getting there.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say that him walking into the house with that stick under his arm that wasn't doing anything. I didn't really understand, and then he comes out with the big hobo bag full of guns, and it was okay. I didn't like his beard, but that line is awesome.
Yeah.
that whole part was awesome.
I can cut 20 minutes of awesome Punisher stuff out of this movie. And if you but there's 20 minutes of incredible Punisher stuff. The problem is it's a 2-hour movie.
Right.
And so it leaves an hour and 40 minutes of other stuff.
Right.
Yep. Lots of other stuff.
Right. like the little scene I'm pretty much going to skip over where Livia comes to have sex with Howard Saint.
Dude, so she comes up. She's like, I asked you to avenge our son, and you did. Like,
now you may bang me,
dude.
But she gets earrings, which
She does.
are
She
important
gets some earrings.
because it's not good. It's not good enough that I killed a whole group of family, a whole family reunion. Here's some Harry Winston earrings.
Does he-
Harry Winston's.
Does he steal an entire other shipment of guns or something? Because the next scene is him setting up his new apartment, and he's got way more guns than his dad had. I think there was like a quick shot of him pulling a crate off of somewhere or something.
He's an ex-counter-terrorist unit soldier.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying,
knows where to get guns.
He got all his guns.
Okay.
My complaint is that they took 40 minutes to set this up, and then they took 5 minutes and went way too fast on he's got a car, and he's fixing up the car, and he's got a new apartment, and he's loading that up, and he's setting all these traps.
The montage is terrible.
I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
give me 20 minutes of this and less of what was just there.
Yeah, the montage is terrible. With the exception of the pan-up shot, though.
Yeah.
That lines up perfectly with his eye looking down the barrel.
Yes.
Ooh, that
was
shot.
great.
That shot probably took all day, honestly.
No, bro,
And
yeah.
why did you need the rug full of guns if you were going to go load up this whole apartment full of artillery? And it's cool seeing him like putting the guns under the sink and the grenade and just him loading up this whole place.
But we don't even know how he found this place. Where he
Why
got
do
all
you
this stuff.
care? Why do you care how he found the apartment?
I want to see more of him.
You know what? He took a
Ryan?
class. He looked at a classified ad and found an abandoned warehouse.
I don't care the logistics of how he got it. I want to see. I would rather see him setting up to become the Punisher than him farting around with his dumbass family in Puerto
I'm looking at
Rico.
the audience right now.
That's all I'm saying.
staring at them.
Your criticism was, I want to know how he found the apartment.
Yeah, but I want to watch it happen. Is what I'm
Looked
saying.
at Craigslist.
I don't need to know literally how he found it. I just want to. I want.
Sounds like something Rick would say.
It's like they fast forwarded through the good
would do this. We need to make a 3-day work schedule to figure out how he got from point A to point B to point C.
It's like they fast forwarded through the good parts and left the crappy
Good parts
run.
of asking for an apartment?
No, the whole setup of him becoming
Punisher
the
becoming
Oh.
Punisher.
I
That's
thought
what they
you guys
wanna
were talking
see.
about the apartment.
All of a sudden, he was just there in a car. I wish we could have seen him pull into the parking space.
I'm not talking about increasing. I'm not talking about increasing shoe leather. Okay, I want to see every step he takes. I'm just saying, in general, this is the part of the movie that they should have expanded and cut down on the other part of it. And if you don't think that's true, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, Farrell. Okay.
We needed more Punisher in the Punisher.
That's what I'm
movie.
saying.
This is part of it. It's kind of where some of the stuff is coming from. I'm assuming, and if I'm speaking for you, James.
no,
let me
you're
know.
right. You're right.
But if I don't think he means he actually cares where he got the apartment. I think he just means like he wants to see more Punisher stuff.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Yes, we do
don't we
in this
all?
But
movie.
at least we finally get.
You know what? You're right. This movie should have been 3 hours. You're right.
God.
This should have been.
No, it just should have been
where's
less
the-
people at the family
Where's
reunion.
the 3 hour? Where's the 180-minute Hensley cut to compete with all the other stupid ass 3 hour John Wick Chapter 4 3 hour Matt Reeves Batman 3 hour bullcrap?
That's fair.
Well, no, it isn't because those are good.
Avengers Endgame saga
They
is
needed to-
5.5
They
hours.
needed that much time to get it all.
God.
Can we just get to
47
Can we
characters.
just get to Punisher Warzone?
He kidnapped Mickey. This is the first Punisher thing he does.
Right.
Is he goes and kidnaps Mickey. All right. And I like how Mickey recognized him.
I love you, Tom
immediately.
Jane.
Like
I'm a fan.
the headlights
Yes,
come on, and
yes.
he's like, "You're supposed to be dead."
You're supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your friends.
They hang him up. He hangs him up. He lives with. We got a very quick introduction to opera boy Ben Foster.
Bumpo.
Okay, Bumpo.
Who's
thank
actually
you.
a comedian, I think.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's
dead.
He
And
passed
he is
away.
dead.
He passed
Yes.
away.
And one of the hottest women in the 2000s, the aughts, was Rebecca Romaine Stamos, and she just randomly lives in this apartment. Also, she's a waitress.
You ever been into a trailer park in Union Grove? A lot of beautiful women live there.
Oh well, see, there you go, and on Grass Lake Road.
Yeah, and on Grass Lake Road. Don't know why. You guys have a better life outside those walls
right.
and streets.
I did like
Just get outside Grass Lake Road.
I did like the blowtorch and the popsicle bit.
That was
Yes.
great.
Okay.
Very
So he
Punisher.
strings Mickey up upside down, right?
Yes.
And he waxes with this flames 2,000 degrees, Mick.
No, I love
You're
the
not
way he
even gonna
delivers
feel it.
everything.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not going to feel it. It's going to feel cold, but it's really burning your
You're not
flesh.
going to feel it. What you're going to smell is burning meat. And then you're just going to feel cold.
That's right.
Isn't science fun, Mickey?
Which
science fun, Mickey?
isn't the Punisher. The Punisher doesn't do this. This is my biggest gripe with this whole movie.
Smell that, Mickey,
He's
and burn
not
off some of your
Spider-Man.
fat.
He's not some quippy dude that's going to like think about a bunch of stuff and then have this big elaborate plan to get you to do what he wants. He's going to shoot you. And that's his only way to solve problems. He kills people, and that's what the Punisher does. He doesn't get a box of popsicles and walk up and go, I think I'll hang him here, and then blowtorch the steak while I popsicle his back. That's not Punisher. Punisher gets, where are they? I'm not telling you. Go get the next guy. That's what the Punisher does.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is why I thought the movie was PG-13 in retrospect.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
I had to look to see if it was
literally
PG-13.
says pervasive, brutal violence. That's like
a popsicle?
that's hard.
Right.
That's like
That's
even
not
beyond.
that pervasive.
You'd have to put that popsicle in a very specific place for it to warrant the rating.
that I could only
will
call
say.
deeply pornographic.
I
I
call it
will
deeply
say.
All right. So we get a little bit of backstory where Mickey says, I hate the Saints. I'll help you do whatever. I know all of their schedules. He launders money for the Toro brothers. He's giving them the whole spiel, basically. Okay. And you're going to help me. And this is when he catches Quentin Glass kissing a dude. He's doing surveillance. He's surveilling them all on their, daily schedules or whatever.
Yep.
And
Carries around a fire hydrant with him just in case.
here's what I don't understand. Why doesn't Frank stay hidden? Why doesn't he use the fact that they think he's dead to his advantage? But instead he rips his tombstone out and puts it on the golf course and then goes in front of the press at the steps of the courthouse and has a conversation with the cops there. And now everyone knows Frank Castle's alive. Why?
Because that's what the Punisher would do.
Is it?
Yeah. Because he's
that's Punisher-esque.
yeah.
Okay.
He that is the Punisher wants you to know that he's the guy that's killing you.
Okay.
And he wants the bad guys, especially the ones that killed his family, to know this is Frank Castle shooting you in the face. To me, this is my Punisher, I guess.
Okay.
But
So this part's all right.
That's fine.
Oh,
To me,
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just
The
like,
fact
wouldn't
that-
you rather keep your anonymity here, at least to the extent possible?
Okay, so you're thinking smart, but it's Punisher-esque.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? Does Jonathan
it's
Hensley
very
even know?
simple. That's why it's Punisher-esque, is that the Punisher, to me, is a blunt instrument.
He's a
He's
force
not
of
a
nature.
scalpel. He's
Right.
just like, I'm just going to shoot
Right,
you.
right.
I'm not going to spend a bunch of time coming up with this big Rube Goldberg thing to make sure that...
That's a Batman thing, kind of. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it though?
Yeah, he's more likely to lay traps like that and manipulate people and be detective-y and all that stuff than the Punisher is.
Or
more
think it through. The Punisher's just going to go shoot you.
Right. That was the whole thing between Daredevil and Punisher, right? Where he's just like, you can't just go kill everybody. He's like,
Right.
no, I'm just going to
exactly
kill
what
everybody.
I'm going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? All right.
In that series, the prison fight scene or whatever, that's what you're dealing with, is
Right.
that brutal of a person.
I love that scene.
And yeah, it's awesome. And that's the Punisher I wanted, but that's why.
Dude, when they've got him in the chair and they're torturing him and they drill his freaking foot and he's like, we going to talk about it or are we going to be about it? I was just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
It's so good, man. Oh, all right. So Frank, his first excursion here out as the Punisher, he breaks into Saint's building where the money counting is happening and takes out two laundry guys to get it. It's literally all it takes to make it into the money room. He swipes a card of a laundry guy and then he's in the money room with a gun.
Yeah, he didn't kill him though.
No, he just bounced their face off of a railing.
Right.
They were just two guys doing their job.
He should have smoked them both, right? I mean, he's the
No.
Punisher, right?
The Punisher should.
Oh, yeah.
You're wearing the shirt, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm
You think
never-
these poor laundry guys.
These poor guys, these poor blue collar guys just picking up laundry for
yeah,
the day.
they shouldn't have been working for the Saints. Kill
They're
them
not
both.
working for the Saints. They're working for a laundry company.
That works for the Saints.
It's probably third partied.
Kill them both. That's what I say over there in your way, man.
And Punisher doesn't give a He was
Okay.
gonna shoot Spider-Man.
Look, if they...
But yes, but that's when he was a villain.
Hey,
Well, yeah,
if those laundry guys hadn't worked for them, those guys wouldn't have had clean laundry at the beach in Puerto Rico. They would have had to wear their own clothes, and they wouldn't have been as effective as a tactical team. They're just as culpable as everybody else. You smoke those laundry boys.
You washed the sleeveless shirt that his son had to wear to that party, so that's why you
Kill
get
him.
shot. That's why. But again, this is all
Now I'm
Punisher
pissed.
whining.
Now I'm pissed that they didn't kill the laundry guys.
How dare you?
Okay? I'm pissed.
You're mad that the laundry
I'm
guys
mad.
survived.
Now
You
I
know
am.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. If only they actually put. You know what? If only they actually put them in the Dirty Laundry sequel.
No.
Dirty
that would've
Laundry's
been perfect.
awesome.
It's good stuff. He did better in that than he did in this. All right. He gets up to the money room. You know whose money this is? You know whose building this is? Yeah, I do.
Who eats like that, by the way?
Right.
Yeah.
Just out of a pot.
How about the bro? Come on, Bob. How about the dude no-selling the hot soup right into his face? He didn't even flinch.
No, that was bad.
That was wonderful.
That was bad.
Just went, and he just has to bonk him.
Hey, that's a mama.
The tortellini. Yeah,
Have you ever eaten anything without looking? Have you ever just went,
never.
look, oh no.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of things without looking. I remember prom night.
Oh man.
Yikes.
You didn't look at your prom date?
He ends up just freaking dumping all of this cash
She was lovely.
into the street, okay? Right where Bob found his prom date. He just dumped all of that cash straight into the road, okay?
Nope.
And there's people running from everywhere. These 2 guards, the only 2 guards other than the laundry guys in the whole
The
place.
laundry guys aren't guards.
They go to run upstairs to see why the money's raining from the sky. And Punisher just comes out with his suitcase full of money. He did take a little bit. And we get a little Western standoff in the lobby.
They're the 2 guys from Puerto Rico.
Oh, I know. Well, yeah.
Yes.
There's also Scarface was down in Puerto Rico. Blonde middle part, long hair guys from Puerto Rico. Johnny and Quentin, obviously. Yeah. This
Those are Johnny and Quentin.
yeah.
No, not Johnny and Quentin. This is. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But these are the other 2 clowns that were in the truck.
Yes.
Anyway,
Henchman A and Henchman B.
you get a little bit of like literally Western. I'm going to move my duster out of the way.
This is cool. This is the cool part.
Yeah. Draws them both down, smokes both those guys,
Yeah.
walks right out of the building.
Just like that.
Love it.
Just standing right in front of glass
Yeah.
too, just to make it extra cool when they died. Shoot. So they both smash.
So they both happen to fall
the
through the
blow.
glass.
That's right.
Exactly.
The Toros show up. I did like when the Toro brothers showed up because that was their money pissing all over the street.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Howard Satan turns into the whiniest bitch. Like he's like, guys, what do you come on?
Yeah.
Like every other scene, he's like a hard ass.
Yeah.
Except for
Until the next time he meets them.
yes, then he switches because now
Right.
he's had too much, right?
Yeah.
He's like, can you guarantee our next shipment? Absolutely, with everything I
Yeah,
have.
booby.
No problem, of course. Cut back to the apartment. I want to see. I so want to skip everything having to do with his neighbors. I'm not going to, but my God, did you guys care about the subplot of the neighbors?
Yes.
You did?
Absolutely. Should have been longer.
I liked the Ben Foster stuff.
He's just saying that to.
No, it's
Make
actually
me mad.
based on the Welcome Back Frank graphic novel.
It is.
it is.
Because Bumpo and Spacker Dave are actually characters.
I like
Right.
Bumpo
From the
and Dave.
comics.
It was the Romaine Stamos stuff that I was like, please get
Okay, the like really badly shoehorned romantic subplot. Yeah.
Yes.
The way you left.
And here's another. This is.
Yep.
Hold your hand, steal your pen away. Keep your phonograph.
Yes, damn it. I bought the soundtrack. And this might
I
be
did
why
too.
this hurts so much
I did
too.
And then
Is
it goes
Yeah.
right next to Dave's room. He goes, stab also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And when he's playing his video game and like, you're a bad influence and you're not the son we want, and
Yes.
he's sitting there murking.
You are
people in a
severely
video game.
disappointment to
Yeah.
your mother.
Yeah.
That's right.
I am
love
the
Ben.
greatest man. I am the greatest.
Ben Foster always goes hard in every movie
Yeah.
he does,
Literally.
minus X-Men: The Last Stand. Other than that, he goes hard in every movie he's
Yeah.
ever been in.
Hostage? Oof.
Dude,
Yeah.
him and 310 to Yuma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah.
30 Days a Night.
30, yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I love Ben.
Ben's great.
I always
You ever
thought
see you ever see Alpha Dog?
No, I
You should
Yeah.
watch Alpha Dog.
His freaking karate kid
Yes.
in that movie.
All right.
Yes.
So anyway, there's an abusive boyfriend at Joni's door.
Of course,
beat
it's
down the door,
2004
you know.
with Seether and Amy Lee playing in the
And
background.
Bumpo and Dave step out into the hallway, like admirably, to get her back. Like, I'm gonna call the cops, man. It's time for you to get out of here.
No, Bumpo just looks out and goes, "Do you need snacks? You guys want some snacks?" Because Dave is the one that actually
Dave is
says,
the one.
"Hey man, you gotta go. I'm gonna
Hey
call the
man,
cops."
it's late.
Yeah,
He
as if he cares.
and I think he grabs his nuts. It happens.
Yeah,
off
yeah, yeah,
camera,
yeah, yeah.
But he literally bends at the waist, and he's like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
And then he starts smacking him around. I think he was gonna rape him. as I think what was going to happen.
You thought he was going to...
He was being oddly like, oh, you like that? What are you going to do? The cops are going to... Oh,
thought he was just gonna,
nuts?
like he was just going to flip him around on the wall there.
I think that's where it was going until Frank opens his door and he says, get out of here.
Yeah, let him go.
And he comes with her with the butterfly knife. I love
just whacks him
just right in the chops. Before he could even do anything.
I say this before, I say this again. If you're allowed to punch one jackass a week, the world will be a better place.
Yeah. Bro, so good.
Yeah, it's cool how he like flips it all around and then just pops him in the head with it. Like, shouldn't play with these knives.
Breaks the bridge of his nose.
Shouldn't play with knives.
And this is when Rebecca Romaine Stank-Nose comes out and is like...
Opens up with...
All right.
I have lived in 7 cities in 7 years, and I've always managed to find one guy that treats me the worst. But I'm trying to fix that. Do you think I really give a shit?
Yeah, you don't know this dude.
Right.
I'm sorry about your family. I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm over it. That too. This
I'm over it.
This feelings, you don't need them in this. We don't need feelings.
Clearly, Frank, you're over it. Yes,
I get
right.
This whole saga is because you've let it go.
I get why she was casted. She has already been in two major hit movies. She's relatively famous, so they needed star power for Tom Jane.
Right.
And she's gorgeous. I mean, like I said.
As gorgeous as Thomas Jane is, like on his level.
Yeah. Thomas Jane is a very good-looking dude.
He is a handsome man.
He is.
Okay. I will say it. And he did work, obviously, to get in shape for the Punisher.
He's a damn good actor. His later, you ever seen Crown Vic?
Yes, please don't take this as like Thomas Jane slander. It's not his fault they did the Punisher this way. I love Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
All right. You put a lot of trust in the directors and the writers as an actor to make you come off well. I mean, he's doing the best he can. Maybe he made some poor choices.
I think they were all learning, like what Ryan was saying. I think everyone was learning on the seat of their flying by the seat of their pants when this movie, because they only had 30 to 40 days.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hensley didn't even want to be there. Tom Jane had to do a bunch of training. We need star power. Okay, Travolta's on his way out. No offense to Travolta. Gotta get Rebecca Romaine from X-Men and X-Men 2 before. This is obviously before the last barf. And
come on,
love that.
The Last Stand was not that bad.
No, The Last Stand was that bad. I'll tell you why. You know why it's so bad? The motherfucker that creates a porcupine mutant should eat a bag of dicks in rotten hell. That's why that movie sucked so much. You take an awesome Asian actor and turn him into a porcupine. And then all he does is hug people to kill him. That is the lamest mutant power.
Oh, that's the guy from Rush Hour, right?
Yes, that guy is awesome.
It is the guy from Rush Hour.
That guy is awesome, and he got reduced to being a porcupine ass clown.
Right.
Yes. That movie.
While Ben Foster flies around with his pretty white wings.
Yes.
And tries to file them off.
And tries to file them off.
Yeah.
Dad, I want to be a mutant.
Well. I mean,
and they take Magneto's powers away.
And they take Magneto's powers away.
In the comics, Angel did try to cut his own wings off.
And Xavier turned into blue dust. Logan's hair is terrible. Like in every other movie, Wolverine's hair is absolutely horrendous.
They kill Cyclops off camera.
Yes, they kill Cyclops off camera because he was doing Superman Returns.
Right.
For God's sakes, instead of putting the helmet on, which took 25 years to do, they made his hair look ridiculous.
We're talking about Wolverine.
All right, we're going to switch back to Punisher as well. But now I can't wait to do those movies with you.
Last Stand can burn in the seventh circle of hell. You know what's better than Last Stand?
What's that?
Captain America 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
All right, I have to gloss over a few things here. And so there's this whole sequence where he sets up the first bit of the setup between Quentin and Howard's wife, where he moves her car to the hotel, gets her a parking ticket, calls Quentin to get him to come to the hotel because I've got pictures of you making out with a dude.
Because God forbid anyone knows you're gay.
And if Howard saw this, you're a dead man.
So you're saying this movie is homophobic?
A little bit.
Just a little.
But this is whole setup, which it doesn't pay off till later, but this is the scene where we get the machinations of
him playing chess, not checkers.
This is him doing Punisher again.
Great Will Patton was is he made drinking wine and smoking and reading a book so awesome.
All he's doing is sitting in that hotel looking cool as frick.
And he has the best line in the whole movie coming up.
We'll get to that in a minute. I love that one. We go to the diner now. It's only the neighbors and Frank Castle in the diner.
This is where I get pissed. This is where I jump on your ship for a minute.
We've got, and
this is him and I argue about this for the last 20 years.
And Quentin earlier said, we got a pro coming in and take care of Castle. He's a memory in 48 hours. He's from Nashville. He's the best.
Yes, he's the best because he has the perfect, greatest Life 360 app on where he can finally, in the city of a state that he can locate Frank Castle.
First question, how the hell does he know where Frank is?
He doesn't know how that. Nobody knows.
Right. How does anyone know?
The part about this movie is the revolving door of bad guys.
Dude, he forgot he left his freaking air tag in his back pocket on the whole time.
This is the only problem I have with this movie. I could swallow anything else. This is the only problem is the revolving door of bad guys. Harry Heck, who's singing. I wrote that for you. No, you didn't. Johnny Cash did, you idiot.
Johnny Cash wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Johnny Cash did not write that.
Who wrote it then?
Mark Colley wrote it for the movie.
Did he?
Yes.
Well,
Really?
It's on the soundtrack.
He just pulls out this
really
guitar.
cool song.
He's
I stand corrected. Sorry.
All right, it's fine. But he's
Hold
got
on a
his
second.
painted nails. Oh, go ahead.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Can we get a Google on that?
Go for it.
Not right. We don't have time.
Mark Colley
people-
in and of himself was
We don't do
a
research
Bruce
here.
Springsteen, Johnny Cash-esque, and has always been compared to Bruce Springsteen and Johnny Cash throughout his musical career.
My apologies. I stand
Anyway.
corrected in my rant.
Anyway.
Harry Heck.
Harry
Harry
Heck.
Heck is the guy's name. He shows up. He obviously the minute he comes in, Frank clocks him as a bad guy. I would assume
He immediately unpacks his
Kinda.
gun from
Okay,
his
he's got his gun behind him.
Kinda.
He takes his guitar out and starts playing this song.
Good song.
Kind of weird if a dude, way too much eye contact, man. The dude is like unbroken eye contact, singing you a song while you're trying to eat your freaking bacon and eggs over here.
Bumpo, Romaine, and Ben Foster sell the scene perfectly because Dave is just like,
Yeah,
This is weird. Yeah.
Way too much eye contact, man.
And it was awesome that we saw where the Harry Potter font came from because Harry Heck is written in the Harry Potter font.
It is.
It's like a character walked in from a different movie.
Yeah.
That's what this
is Harry
was like.
Heck even a part of the comics?
No.
I don't know.
Was he not? I
Let
don't
us know.
know.
Let us know, people.
That, if it is, it's a deep cut from Punisher that I didn't know about.
I know Punisher's number one villain is either Kingpin or Bullseye or Jigsaw.
No, it's Jigsaw.
for
Howard Saint isn't even a real Punisher villain.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyway.
Why not just make him king? All right, I'm not going to do that.
That's not, exactly.
It's because they didn't have enough action in this movie, so they were like, let's just throw in a random assassin.
I think Saints are in the Punisher lore.
He sings the song.
Nope. Howard Saint and the Saints were.
Not only was Howard Saint in the lore, Johnny Cash wrote that song. Now, I don't know. I don't do research. We just shoot from the hip here. Ron.
Exactly.
That's why
So
I have
I'm shooting from the hip.
That's why
I don't know.
have
I'm
you.
shooting from the hip.
All right.
Isn't it great when you shoot from the hip and then he brings you, pops your balloon?
He is a balloon popper, but that's part of why I love him.
I know. I love him too.
It's all right. Because I can hear what you're thinking.
Harry.
all your doubts and fears.
All your doubts and fears.
He puts the guitar down. He's like, "You like that, boy? I wrote that for you." And I'm just like, "Are we about to make out?" Like that's what I.
That's so nice of you.
Say. Okay.
Tom Jane did sell it. His facial expressions were really good.
When he walks away, it says, "I'm going to play it for you at your funeral."
That line right there. I'm going to play it for your funeral. Shouldn't that put Frank on guard a little bit?
One would think.
One would think.
Would think that the Punisher would be doing
He was
a lot
on guard.
of things that
He
he's not
pulled up to a bridge that's right after this. He's back in his awesome car. He's got these steel pull down things for his windows.
Yes.
He pulls up to this bridge that's going up to, or now it's on the process of coming back down again. And he clocks this car that looks like a dangerous looking car going 80 miles an hour and not slowing down. He looks up 3 different times at the rearview mirror. And it's not until the 3rd time where he goes, "Oh crap, I don't think this guy's stopping."
That huge green car coming at 100 miles an hour isn't going to hit. Wait, well,
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he will.
Yeah.
I better go forward.
You don't
quick.
assume the worst out of everybody.
Not after a guy just sang a death song to you and
Yeah.
made eye contact the whole time.
Right.
You know, benefit of the doubt. He's trying to have a good day. He just had some pancakes with his friends.
I can't tell if you believe this.
You'll never know.
I don't know. We haven't done a ton of stuff together, so I can't tell where this is coming from. Is this real?
Frank floors it, and he gets kind of sideways. He's able to get away a little bit to blunt the thing, but he floors it and jumps over the closing bridge in this awesome car. He shuts the shutters as the guy comes out of his car with the shotgun. Right, that was all very cool, awesome. He drives over the bridge, cool jumping shot. He
More
gets
bouncy car work.
very bouncy. He gets a block away from that bridge, and some random soccer player gets out on the road.
Keeps your ball in the field, lady.
He hits another car and wrecks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He built this whole car and destroyed it immediately.
Yeah.
I hated that.
I know.
And the thing that made me crazy too is like he built all these things for the exact perfect situations that were going to happen in this movie.
Right.
Like I would have liked to seen him not use some of this stuff that he put in his apartment.
In the booby trapping montage when it's like, oh, better get ready for my fight scene with the Russian.
This isn't Home Alone. Like we don't need to see you use every booty trap.
It's my apartment. I have to protect it.
Yeah. And then the car, like, this is going to be super great for when the guy walks up shooting shots at me. I'm going to need this shutter and this shutter.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect.
It worked
But
out.
it just seemed like give me a longer car chase. Give me at least 2 scenes with the car. Something. He just
Give us a completely different scene.
right.
Because
This one.
his build up, because like you know,
up
like
the car.
No, like Will Patton's line, even
Yeah.
like you said, it's a terrible line. But when he's like, "Oh, pro from Memphis, the best,"
Yeah.
and he's just like a guy with a guitar who then just shoots a shotgun from the hip, like, what?
Right.
You are the worst.
You are
freaking
not
assassin.
you are a pro singer.
When the
You
guy
are the worst assassin I've ever seen.
no.
still gets the drop on him. Frank's crawling out of the wrecked
And then
car.
this,
And he
Frank's
goes
crawling
over.
out of the car.
And he's got a switchblade that's unswitched. Like the knife is retracted in. And he's like, "You some kind of a dumbass boy bringing a knife to a gunfight." It turns out it's a knife gun. It's a gun that shoots knives.
Turns out it's a knife shooter.
Because of course it is.
Because of course it is.
Macaulay Culkin always has to have the right thing at the right time.
Yes.
Knife gun was my favorite. I
And
love
didn't
that
he?
thing.
He had a gun in his
Maybe.
back
At the
Yeah.
diner.
at the diner. So what
yeah.
did he put
Put it
that in his glove box?
I
And
guess.
then,
I
I don't know. Maybe
I'm
we
not
should.
gonna
You
need
know
that.
what? Maybe if James had another 5-minute scene of what happened to the gun.
But the Punisher always has a GD gun on him.
Somewhere.
If he has
Up his
anything
butt.
on him,
Wherever.
he would not. He would rather
Some
not,
spring-loaded contraption that shoots out his ass.
Yeah, they would. He would rather not have his pants on than not have a gun. This is the Punisher we're talking about.
That's
I
right.
think we could all save. They could all save time if you just opened up a grenade launcher in the diner on the
Right. Or how about
mid song?
Or how about he outdrives the guy and kills him instead of being helpless on the ground and having to resort to a knife trick to get him.
Or wouldn't it be so much cooler if this dude is singing this song in a dark hotel room and gets a call that says, "We found Frank. He's in this diner."
Yeah.
And then you see them like him just
Right.
automatically pull up on him and
Start
start
shooting
shooting at him
immediately.
instead of having that happen in the diner. And giving it some reason for, like you said, we found out where he is, and for that song to not just be it's an awesome song.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it in an awesome venue instead of just right in front of Frank, so you can sit there and eat scrambled eggs and look at him like this is
Frank should have killed him during mid song.
Yeah,
Smoked him like
so much better. If
Like,
you would have just shot him at the end of the
boom,
song,
right
that
off
would have
the
made that
table.
so much better.
like Greedo in Star Wars.
Yes,
right?
they
Like
should have
the Han
borrowed-
Solo thing.
Yes, he should have just blasted him
like,
right out the window.
I wrote that song for you, and it played at your funeral. Yeah, I bet you are. Boom.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right?
boom,
Yep.
yeah,
like the Indiana Jones and the sword guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
All this build up and then
And he goes back to eating his cornflakes.
That's
or
what I
whatever the
liked
hell
about
he's doing.
Warzone. Like that be opening. I know we'll get to it eventually, probably
Yeah.
episode 600. But Warzone,
Yeah.
when he goes to hangs from the chandelier.
That's the only thing I remember
dude.
from that movie.
when
He just-
when that guy is sitting at the table.
Yes.
and, like Frank, the cop is like asking him questions, and Frank just blows his head off.
Yes.
He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
without a second hesitation.
All right.
As the kid blasts the guy's
Right.
face right off.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
We'll get there. We'll get
Warzone.
there.
We got Johnny, the older kid, pulling in. This is the Toro's money shipment that they're like promised to protect this money shipment. As Johnny's unloading the cash, there's a GD mine in the middle of this pile of money, which he picks up. And it's not until he turns it around, it's his face towards enemy, that he's like, "Oh, this is a mine."
I'm pointing this at me now. Uh-oh.
Puts it back, jumps out of the boat. Boom! The money's exploded.
If only he were thinking more. He should have just thrown the mine into the ocean.
Right.
Shoot him. He looks up from the freaking beach, and there's Frank going, up
Wasn't
in the
that
woods.
clever
right?
of
Wasn't
me?
that clever of me? Bye. I'll kill you later, maybe, if I feel like it.
I'll kill you by making you do exercises later. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I did like that. I did like that. It cut to like that smash cut to John Travolta going, "All of it," in his high pitched.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all of it?
I loved it.
Right as the
Hairs everywhere.
Toro brothers come in.
Yeah.
And this is where he decides now he's going to be an asshole. To
Not
Toro
the
brothers.
Cubans.
Right? Don't touch the Cuban. It's
Right.
not even a Cuban, Howard.
Nah, man, or something.
It's Honduran.
Honduran, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Like it, you don't like it, just remember one thing.
Yeah.
You got more guns than you.
We don't get, yeah.
Will Patton's like, we actually don't have more guns than them. There's a point of fact.
It's your job to make Castle dead.
Right.
I don't care what it takes, what it costs. Call the Russian.
Call the Russian.
From WWE.
Get Kevin Nash's ass out here right now.
He lost a hair versus hair match.
We were there, too.
Chris Jericho for this role.
Bro.
That's how they wrote him off television.
Right, a month before, my brother is 15 years old, okay?
Yeah.
And they're in 2003, when they were shooting this movie, they're doing a SummerSlam match in Phoenix, and I took him out there. I was 24, right?
Yeah.
And they had one of the first Elimination Chamber matches they ever did, and it was Goldberg's brief return. And it was like Goldberg, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash,
Randy Orton,
and
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho are all in this Elimination Chamber match. But a month beforehand, leading up to this, we're watching all the buildup because we know we're going to go. Nash loses a hair versus hair match and gets his head shaved and cut in the ring. But then when he comes out for SummerSlam a month later, it's bleached blonde. But he's still wearing his Kevin Nash gear. And I remember everybody was like, why the frick does his hair look like Eminem? It's ridiculous. Huh. So we were there watching this match right at the same time as he was shooting this.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
There you
good backstory.
So if you go watch SummerSlam 2003, Phoenix, Arizona, you will see Kevin Nash with this haircut in the match.
And we'll see Bob with his sign.
Yeah, right, exactly. 15-year-old Bob.
Randy Orton.
Go wrestle.
He got the
Oklahoma Slam from hell.
He got Oklahoma slammed, and then he got the power bomb.
Power bomb. Oh, dude.
It had to hurt.
Anyway, call the Russian.
It's the best part of the movie.
First, before we get there, they con Frank into having dinner with all of them. Okay?
Yep.
It's like, literally, look what I wrote. I want to show you what I wrote in here.
I can't wait.
Thanksgiving. I know it's not Thanksgiving. And I just went,
Yeah.
Z, 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 Z.
Yes.
Way to take away any modicum of momentum you had going here by, like, I made tea. Do you want to have a dinner with us?
Bro, we just got some forward momentum going in this movie.
Right.
Do you want to bang?
It just grinds to a halt.
Yes, but that's the flip side because, like, once again, the four of them I don't mind too much. But then when Bumpo's like, by the way, I make some great shaved ice.
Florentine.
Ice floor, yeah, right.
Come help
And he's
me,
like,
Dave.
Come help me, Dave. And it's like, oh,
They're
great.
going to screw.
Here we go, trying to shoehorn
what
the
it is.
damn romance into this again.
Walks up and she's like, I know what it's like to lose everything. And then she gets real close. I'm not what you're looking for. No, Rebecca Romaine Stamos, you're too hot. I can't be with you.
And also, Rebecca, this is none of your god dang business, okay? I'm just trying to sit over there and make things with tools. And you keep like, memories are the only thing that keep us. Shut up. I'm just trying to live over there. I don't want to eat with you. I don't want to care about you idiots. But here I am drinking tea and you're telling me that I shouldn't care about this anymore.
Don't let your memories define you.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
A good memory can save your life.
A good memory can
This
save your life.
coming from the dumbass that said, I've been in different places for 7 years, and every one I find the worst. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, all of those people are very wise.
Yeah, aren't those memories that she's holding on to and still keeps doing it?
He goes back to his apartment, which he was just trying to be the Punisher in silence over there before. And they're like,
Right.
What'd they say? Her boyfriend's back or whatever. That's how they condiment.
Yeah.
He finally gets back to some damn peace and quiet and Jack Dean. That's Jim Beam. I'm talking about Jack Dean. Jim
Wild
Beam.
Turkey.
Wild Turkey. That's what it was.
Wild
Wild
Turkey.
And all of a sudden there's a knock on the door again. And he's like, oh, man. And every other time anyone knocks on his door, he pulls a gun. This time he puts the gun away because he thinks it's Joni.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Joni or Dave
So-
or whoever.
It's not. It's freaking Big Sexy himself. Yes. He opens the door. And it kills me because Kevin Nash looks like a normal person on WWE because he's standing around other giants. But anytime you get a wrestler next to a normal human being, they look like freaks.
Yeah.
He's humongous compared to Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for the scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro just starts going after him,
Yep.
busting through the door. Oh, it was so good.
And I paused the movie right at the point where Thomas Jane actually stabs Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Because did you know that isn't, he actually stabbed him and Kevin Nash just takes it?
He just ate the knife shot because, again, when you hire a professional wrestler who's broken their body over 20 years, they have a different threshold of pain than normal humans do. And so, I don't know if it was the wrong prop knife or it just didn't retract, or I don't know what the mistake was there, but he stabbed Kevin Nash
in the shoulder. And also, thank God the scene wasn't stab him in the heart.
Yeah, right? That's another great point.
Because then he might be dead.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Nuts. But you could see it, like it's in his shoulder. And I paused it and was telling my wife, like, that is in him. Like, that knife is inside of his shoulder right there, and his face does not show that.
No. Craziness. This guy, the Russian, is eating crowbar shots.
Yes.
Yeah, crowbar shots.
No.
He dives into a bathroom, throws a grenade.
This well-planned trap.
Right.
Yeah.
That backfires immediately.
Yeah. Every one of them does. He pulls that gun out from under. He just takes that barbell.
The barbell.
Yep, the barbell on top of the gun barrel.
Yeah.
A whole lot. But here's the problem with the scene. I love the scene. Before you get upset at me,
I'm not getting upset.
But I know you love this scene.
Well, I just think it's very well done.
It is well done. The tone is so weird.
It's slapstick.
Yeah.
It's slapstick. The music is opera music from Bumpo's thing. We got this guy in a striped shirt, bright.
That's exactly how he looks in the comics.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yep.
But the way it's lit, everything, I'm just like, I remember sitting here watching this going, this is a cool scene, but what is this movie?
No, it is
what is this movie?
It is a completely weird comedic turn.
Yes.
Right.
Because even like Tom Jane's facial expressions, like as he's getting whooped and stabbing him, and he he hits him with the crowbar. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. That didn't
the whole
work.
confusing
This
thing.
doesn't work.
It's hilarious.
He gets thrown through the wall and smokes the brick wall on the other side.
When he eats brick, his stuntman, I'm assuming, whoever that was, he throws him through the drywall. That looked brutal.
Into the hallway?
Into the hallway.
Oh, yes.
And just the stunt guy just eats the brick wall.
With his face.
With his face.
Yep.
Yeah. I rewound that about 3 or 4 times.
Dude, the way that body
It
bounces
looked
off
like
of that.
Tom Jane. I don't think it was.
I don't know.
Practical effects or visual effects of some kind, but
Whoever it was.
Thank you, stuntman, for eating the wall.
Oh, they did it.
His neck bent backward. Like that wall was not giving at all.
No.
That was crazy.
And then Kevin Nash just breaks through the rest of the wall.
Yeah. It's awesome how he's kind of a force of nature and just nothing's working on him, and it's great. But then you have and he's dancing with
Rebecca. Jones,
tall dummy, and then the radio breaks because they hear a noise, and then he Fonzie's it.
The grenade explosion.
Because the grenade explosion.
Yeah, and then he Fonzie's the radio back on, and then they're all just like, okay.
That was probably nothing.
Yeah. Who cares? It just, like you said, tone was a problem here.
Finally,
so was the end of the
Well,
fight,
at least Kevin Nash's character didn't no-sell the boiling water in his face, like the guy earlier in the money room. Like his face starts to melt, and then he just goes and tackles him down the stairs. And when it pans back over, Kevin Nash's face is facing the wrong way.
So is his arm.
So is his arm.
Yep.
Right.
And is that just physics? Is that what we're going to go with here? That he just fell wrong?
He fell wrong and twisted his head around.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wish that would have been better, I guess.
They pull him up. They pull the Punisher up into, I'm fine. Pull him up into it. Or are you going to say something? Sorry.
I think this is one of the best lines of the movie.
Oh, go ahead. Hit me with it.
When he says it.
What does he say?
He says, Frank? And he's like, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Yeah.
He's not.
He's not. That's right. Gets back up to the apartment. She's like, I know I'm good with a needle and thread, whatever, and trying to fix him up. So he's no hospitals, no cops, all that stuff. The squad shows up. Now, you already said the Life 360 thing. How the Russian know where he lived. It's one thing like maybe somebody spots him in a diner. How do they know where his house is? Right?
And if you did, why don't you just
blow it up?
Yeah. Just shoot a bazooka into that thing.
That's what Howard's saying earlier. He goes, how can we make him suffer if we can't find him?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but we can.
A couple
but it's like, well, you're finding him. I don't know how you're finding him, but you're finding him.
Well, the Russian finds him.
So why not roll up with the Russian? The squad shows up 5 minutes later, like, well, let's see what happened here.
Right.
Yeah. That's how you're supposed to do things like that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
You don't want to be involved. You need to have plausible deniability just
We'll
in
just
case.
show up right before the cops would get there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no cops in this movie.
Dude,
Where are the police?
the funniest part is right here too, how they basically like the body of the Russian just stays in this apartment for hours.
Right.
No one calls anybody.
There's not a cop in the whole movie.
No.
Could have had like
Not
a Jimmy
one.
scene.
Except for the one where Punisher comes up and says, "You guys aren't doing very good."
Oh, that's it.
This is why I love how John Wick got rid of cops.
Yeah.
Working again, John? Working stuff out.
Yeah, right.
Take care, John.
It's fine.
All right, cop problem gone.
Right. You did something with it. You at least explained why.
Squad shows up. They hide Frank in the elevator that's inside of his room. And Dave gets, first of all, I would piss myself being interrogated by Will Patton. I mean, that was just some scary, scary times right there. I was like, I'll talk. I'll tell him right now.
Yeah.
Dave, don't worry. If I was Bumpo, I'd be like, no, I'll tell you where everything right now.
Yeah, Bumpo's a dick. He just sits there and goes, "This is going to hurt him real bad." But I'm not going to say nothing. Like, did Dave give him a wink of, don't say anything? Okay, but I made a dessert.
Don't say anything. I'll take it.
I can't even put into words. I know I'm gushing here a little bit, but like, there's something so effortless about the way Will does these kinds of scenes where it's just cold-blooded.
Yeah.
This is a scene that on paper, that if any other actor did it, it would turn out gimmicky.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Right.
No.
Like when he picks up the needle nose pliers and he just kind of like
starts tapping them.
Taps him a little bit. Like any other actor could have been like, "Oh, needle nose pliers."
No. I was scared and I'm not even in the room.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "What's the stuff all on your face?" With the, he's like,
"Stuff all on your face."
And he goes, "Piercings," like he punches the P on it, like he doesn't know what the hell they are.
Those hurt. You
like
like
this one? This one's special, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Yo, tell him something, man."
Those hurt. You think you know about pain?
You think you know pain, boy?
You know pain,
like
boy?
pain? Yeah. And that's like, are you gonna kiss him? Are you gonna kiss him? You can kiss him.
Dude is a sadist. I think he called him a sadist at one point. When they were doing it.
Quentin Glass is written as a sadist. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
What's his face? Mickey. He's going through the list of everybody's flaws.
Homosexual sadist who's a CPA and a lawyer.
Right.
I was like, wow, that must be a hell of a life.
You've done a lot of studying.
And when he walks out with his hands covered in blood and he's wiping it like he just went to like the hot dog stand on a Tuesday, and he's like, if they had known, they'd have said something.
Yep.
Must not have known.
Must not have known.
Right.
Out there.
Yeah.
But you're in his apartment, so maybe you should just wait because he's going to come back if he's not here.
Scarface
Look,
there.
logistically, right? You've just sent the best hitman from Memphis who ate it.
Yeah.
You just sent the Russian who clearly ate it.
Yeah.
So, all right, henchman number 3, you'll probably be able to take care of it.
Yeah, we'll leave this one dude that has no special
he's got a
things.
scary scar, so maybe
he's got
you think he's a tough
Isn't that
guy?
the one that he fought in the beginning?
No.
That's not the same one?
He was at Puerto Rico, wasn't he?
He was.
He was. He was the one that bowed down and
Yeah, he
killed the
bowed
people
down
out
and
of
killed the people.
Oh,
the house.
that's right.
okay.
Cowering
He was-
under the house.
Yeah.
But I like how Johnny's line is like, when he shows up, kill him. And I was like, no, buy him a freaking drink.
That's right.
What else?
When he gets here,
Isn't
you make him a
that what
cake.
we're here to do?
Yeah.
Because I was already going to. Would that have been wrong?
Right.
Well, now that you told me to. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Arm wrestle him.
Frank
Best
rises.
2 out of 3.
Frank rises from the elevator, all healed up. I mean, his wound is like perfectly sewed. There's no blood.
Yeah.
He's
Did you
awake.
see how much he drank?
A lot. Yeah.
Have you ever had wild turkey?
No. But I've been around people while they were drinking
can't chug it.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you could, but you would
could.
violently vomit almost immediately. It is
You've had wild turkey?
ridiculous.
It's the hot spicy one, right? Like,
No, that's cinnamon, or that's Fireball.
That's a fire. Yeah.
no, this is just like
Wild turkey is
wild
like,
turkey is like 100 proof whiskey.
Yeah.
Like
I'm never
it's-
been. I'm a beer and wine guy. I've never been much
Yeah.
of a liquor drinker. But
Wild turkey is what alcoholics drink when they've already went through all the other whiskeys and they're just like, I need the hard. That's what
got it.
wild turkey is. And for him to just sit there and chug it is, that's a bridge too far. That and then but apparently it's magic, and you can
what
just
it does.
go down an elevator for 20 to 25 minutes with Rebecca Romaine Stamos and come back up.
well, when you frame it like that, it suddenly starts to make more sense,
I
David.
guess.
Yeah. Did you see the light, the backlight when he
It's
came
true.
out of the
He's like,
elevator? And he was like,
"I feel
"Ha-ha!"
Right. Because she shut up. That's why. Because she stopped talking and just
when it cut down, instead of her covering his mouth, it should have been the other way around. That he was just covering her mouth.
So what you're saying, he should have came out of the elevator while she was already on her knees.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we didn't see her. We just saw him.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not.
But this is one of my favorite
Trying to cast aspersions.
scenes is when he actually turns full Punisher because he has the look on his face. He gets out. Bumpo's pointing at the hallway. He looks and then he goes and then he just looks at the thing and he just kind of just does
the paper cutter.
He's going for his gun.
He goes down with it and he just pulls it off and it's great scene.
Could have shot him, but this will be more fun.
This is like now he's.
And who doesn't have like some kind of fear of cutting themselves on a paper cutter? I mean, that thing every time, shunk. Like this must be for when Frank wants to make crafts or something. That's why he's got a paper cutter in his apartment.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Absolutely.
He's like, what the hell is that in there for?
There's a lot
what
of
is
stuff
he making with his Cricut machine in his apartment?
The set design. If you look at all these artifacts in his apartment, like there's just an angle grinder, there's just a miter saw. It's a ton of stuff in this apartment that's just like, hey, you know, we work in Hollywood. We don't know anything about this stuff, but how can we make this look as industrial as possible?
Right.
When I'm not killing people, I, Frank Castle, love doing metal sculptures in my apartment. Nothing makes me happier than making an owl out of bottle caps.
Yeah.
If only we had a 5-minute scene of that.
He knifes this dude in the head with the paper cutter. That was awesome. Loads up. And this is where we get this ridiculous scene where Joni, oh gosh, this scene pissed me off. You're going to die tonight, aren't you? And she's like, it's Rebecca trying to do the crying.
Oh, God, it hurt me.
You're going to die tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. She sounded like a Cocker Spaniel. My dog makes that sound when she wants a treat.
Yes.
You're going to die tonight. Memories. And remember, you can't just live there.
Just do this.
Oh, God. What about this man is giving you the impression that he gives a
And then when he leaves to march out of there, she's just crumpled in a ball in the hallway. Like, you've known him for a week. You've talked to him twice.
And there's still just 2 dead bodies at the bottom of the
two
stairs.
dead bodies.
And maybe this is your problem, my lady, is that you get attached to men really fast because you've only known this dude for a couple days.
Yeah.
And you're so worried about him.
That's clearly her problem.
Now, Frank puts the...
There's a whole profile on Rebecca Romaine on her type of character that's actually pretty accurate.
Frank is about to seal the deal here with Quentin and Livia because this is where he goes and puts the earring, calls Quentin away again, puts the earring in his house, sets up the whole thing, has Mickey feed the parking ticket to Howard. Okay.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And then he sends Quentin to the Men's Warehouse, the freaking Burlington Coat Factory or whatever. Okay. And this dude walks up to Will Patton with a Fu Manchu looking like the most intimidating person ever. He goes, would somebody like help with their underpants?
Go yourself.
It's so good.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
I thought we were going to get a William Dafoe Boondock Saints moment here, right? Where he says something derogatory to the gay guy, even though he himself, like that's what I was anticipating happening. This was even better.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just so.
Yeah, I think it was too.
I mean, it's not hard to be better than Boondock Saints.
No. Earring is planted. And so when Will Patton gets home, Howard is waiting for him, and he gives him this whole speech about Jim Bowie, the guy that died in the Alamo.
You keep groaning over there. Do you not like this?
I actually like this.
Yeah.
This
No, I think this is the part where like there's all of a sudden this callback to this plot point that we visited literally an hour ago.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, by the way, my plan has come to fruition, even though it was literally like, well, I'm going to fake a parking ticket. I'm going to fake him going to the Wyndham, and I'm going to take an earring.
Yep. And it worked out like...
wow, I just totally convinced this dude that his best friend and his wife were hooking up behind his back.
And here's why it's an idiot plot, because in any idiot plot is one where all it takes is one person saying one word or one sentence and it ruins the whole thing, but they just manage to never say the thing.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't trust them at all. No. Like you're not gonna even relish the thought that maybe this dude that put this tombstone on your golf course might have something to do with all of a sudden your friend humping your wife.
Yeah,
making you believe it, or like now all of a sudden you're suspecting your wife of cheating on you.
Yeah, maybe that he might have something to do with it.
Maybe I'm being played here.
Yeah. Like if somebody called you a cheat back in those days with Jim Bowie, he would throw a knife into the ground and they'd move all the furniture out of the way. The only problem is you have too much damn furniture. Yeah. He's kicking chairs out of the way.
Yes, it's a good scene.
I thought Will Patton played the confusion pretty damn well here.
You know, here's the fun part too. Because you know that Quentin Glass, being a sadist and a homosexual, there's also a brief glint in Will Patton's eye where he's kind of like, oh, are we going to do this, Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks he's kidding, or he kind of...
No, that's what I mean. Like I feel like Quentin Glass as the character thinks that Howard is kind of like playing to his... proclivities of...
And even when Howard grabs him by the neck and you get this kind of voice from Will Patton, he's, what are you doing, Howard? What are you doing, Howard? He's like still kind of smiling and he's like, you better pick up that knife. He's like, I don't need a knife, Howard. And it's like, he really is not understanding what the hell is happening.
No, for sure. He plays the confusion off.
Yeah. And then he literally picks up the knife and starts to kill his best friend.
Yes, starts to stab him.
Who literally says, you're killing me,
You're killing me, Howard. You're killing me.
He just keeps getting there. He's like, oh, ow,
stop it.
Howard, you're killing me.
What are you doing with a knife in my stomach?
What are you doing with Jim Bowie in space?
And he kills his best friend, wraps him up in a carpet and brings him to his wife, who he then accuses of being a whore. He's chucking her crap over the balcony, and she comes back in from the movie. He's like, what the frick is going on?
Yeah.
And he starts laying it all. And finally she says, and all Will Patton had to say to save his own life, he doesn't say, is like, Quentin was gay. But he's like, bull crap. Like, you'll say anything he says.
That's literally, he slaps her and he says, you'd say anything at this point. Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Grabs her, puts her in the car, drives her to Little Cuba, the neighborhood where he found her.
Yeah, big monologue of, many years ago, the neighborhood where we first met.
I found you,
Where we found her over at that meat stand. We shared our first pork sandwich.
The neighborhood was more colorful back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Before he stops and yeets her ass over a bridge onto some train track.
Yeah, it's bad enough. Like you got tossed over a bridge, but then choo choo. Here
comes a train.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
I thought of the Naked Gun scene, like, he's probably all right.
Yeah.
Then the freaking steamroller comes over, like, well, probably not now. Groundhog Day did that too.
Couldn't have happened to a better woman.
Oh yeah, poor lady, right? She's the reason his wife, not just him, got killed, but the whole family. I didn't feel bad for her.
What does she say? Because he kisses her the one last time, and she's like, "Howard, you're not making any sense."
That's right.
And he says, "Like, is that good enough for you? No, me neither." And then just throws her over the bridge, or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's just like a John Travolta unhinged moment that really doesn't track with the rest of the movie.
He gets back in the limo and goes, "Oh, I'm going to the club. I need a martini." After just killing his two favorite people.
Yeah.
In the whole world.
Yeah. Okay. And then make some one-liners about him later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when your son is asking you what happened to his mother and you answer him in puns.
That's so funny.
Johnny comes in and is like,
Where's Quentin?
Where's Quentin? Oh, he's a little wrapped up in something.
Where's Mom?
She took a train.
Like, you're answering in puns.
Your mother's gone. Where'd she go? Oh, she took a train. That was the second time I laughed in the movie. I was like, these are great. You're going to dad joke your kid right now.
It was kind of funny, though.
Yeah. Murdered his mother.
Yes.
And then we get this voiceover of Frank as he's packing up and he's getting ready for his final assault on the base,
Yeah,
Saint.
Exactly. Says, you mean where John Wick Chapter 3 stole?
It's not vengeance. It's punishment.
Yeah.
Right? Frank Castle is dead. He died with his family. He goes through this whole thing, right? Give me this last 10 minutes shot into my veins and make the whole movie more of this.
Right.
Fine.
And then you have Punisher Warzone.
We have Punisher Warzone.
Right.
Okay. Frank goes in. First of all, I shouldn't have joked before about him liking arts and crafts because he sets up explosions in this parking lot in a very artsy way.
God.
Right? And I put one here, and that makes a picture.
That makes a skull.
We're really leaning into the shirt.
He had a piece of paper with him because he had it gridded out on a grid. It's like 2 more cars to the right.
Yeah.
That would have taken forever.
3 cars in the middle.
All right, he was there since 4 in the afternoon. It's dark by the time he gets out of there.
But there's lots of superheroes that have done this dumb shit. Like Batman did it at one point. Didn't Ghost Rider do it too or something like that?
Ghost Rider did it.
Daredevil makes
and the
Daredevil
Crow.
was the other one. Yep,
Yeah.
And the Crow.
The Crow did it best.
The Crow did it best.
Didn't Batman make a...
Batman never made a bat symbol in fire.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The bridge. Light the flare.
That's how they were they wanted to
In the Dark Knight Rises?
At the very end, he gives Gordon a flare. He says, light it up. And he lights it up. He puts it down, and then it goes up and shoots up the bridge, and then lights up the bat symbol.
Oh, yeah.
And Bane's
See?
like, he'll come for her.
That's right. I forgot, yeah.
Fight.
Whatever. That was 2012.
in broad daylight.
You didn't like Dark Knight Rises.
I like Dark Knight Rises. It's all right.
I like it better than
It's
Dark
solid.
Knight.
Yeah, I don't know why. You're insane.
All right, before we
Exactly
get down
why I
that
like
one.
it better.
Yes,
Frank
exactly.
goes in. Frank goes in and arrows a dude. They got all these mercenaries there because he's like 50,000 to the man who kills Frank Castle, and 50,000. Well, you all just get 50,000.
50,000 for showing up. 50,000 to all of you for showing up, and 50,000 to the guy
More.
that kills him.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I'm just gonna go home because that's a pretty good deal.
And then what do they do?
But you're in it till the end, he says.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're in it till the end.
Yeah.
And then
I'm gonna go look for him in my neighborhood.
How would he know?
But the
was what I
shot
want.
of Frank walking up to that step and pulling his bow,
Yes.
shooting that dude in the neck.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's what I want.
Yes.
That's Punisher stuff.
So
Yep.
good.
Yep.
And he get the dude coming down. He takes their champagne order.
Dude,
Okay, literally it buzzes down to the thing, and he's like, "I need some more champagne up here for Mr. Saint."
that's not even what he says.
Coming right up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And he
How is
sends
that
up the
stupid?
champagne order.
How was the champagne?
so
You had issues with every.
It is weird that there's no one working down there. They're like calling for champagne to
killed the
with
guy
the
at the
guy that
bar.
got the arrow through the neck. So you can kill a bartender, but not laundry guys. This is what we're saying.
No, I'm saying like he already killed the guy that was serving the champagne. He got him in. He shot him in the neck. With
So that was a mercenary, but his crap job is
not
he
a
had to serve the
bartender.
champagne.
Yes, he was the lobby guard. There was there's the one outdoor guard,
Right.
the one first level lobby guard, and then the 30 other guys that are just upstairs.
And these laundry
why
guys
are-
are still alive.
Why
the
are
laundry
they
guys are fine.
upstairs? You go downstairs and
Yes.
spread out.
because they all just got paid
Right.
$50,000, and
Yeah.
instead of like, all right, guys, let's get to work.
Right.
No, let's sit around, twiddle our
drink
thumbs,
champagne.
and drink champagne.
That's
and
why
that's
you
why
don't
when
pay
he
'em.
pushes the button, he's like, "Hey Eddie, more champagne, make it fast." Like, I would if I were Eddie, I would have been like, "Who the f- are you?
All right. Get down here.
You
Guy
get your
only-
own damn
And then after
champagne."
Frank answers, like, Eddie sounds like the Punisher. I don't know. It was weird.
And his voice changed.
Coming right up.
Yes.
Okay.
Eddie's got a cold.
And they send the champagne up. And as the champagne's going up, a guy is coming down. And so he knifes that dude to get the blood spray across the wall.
Yeah.
Right up.
Karambit.
And they pull the freaking
Neat.
champagne out. And he goes, oh, crap. Literally. Oh, boom.
He literally goes, "Oh."
Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
He's like, oh.
And it's a whatever, a mine that shoots in a direction.
It's an anti-personnel
But
mine.
it blows this whole floor up.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody
Oh,
in
yeah.
every direction just.
And then Frank just comes in to mop up with his rifle. Oh, dude,
Right.
that was so good.
Yeah.
And he took so many shots.
Yeah. Those hurt too.
It
That's
does.
not
Shotgun-
significant.
One guy, the shotgun was like right here into his chest, and he eats another shot.
He eats a couple to the side,
Yeah.
a couple to the front.
Yeah, once again,
This
henchman
one-
number 7.
Right.
He was like, "Well, I just shot him in the stomach. It didn't work, so I'm going to shoot him in the stomach again, even though I'm standing right in front of his face."
There was this one henchman that was just hiding kind of not even really hiding halfway behind a sofa that Frank really struggled to kill. And Frank is hiding behind a fluffy chair on the ground. Okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
No, it is not the Punisher. That's not what he would do. He would just walk up to him, especially if he's already eating shots, and just shoot that dude in the face.
Right. It gave Howard Saint enough time to get into the elevator and get out of there.
Right.
He eventually smokes all these guys. I like the one where he just walks past and puts one in the guy.
Yeah.
Very Punisher-y.
Right.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Then he realizes that Howard's son is trapped at the desk with something pinned on his broken arm. It's like, did you see this fake hand sticking up like this? It was crazy. I'm like, that would hurt, dude. Right? And he's trying to reach for his gun, but he...
Just
Do you like to work out? You ever try isometrics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold this mine up. It's really, really a great workout.
Standing personnel mine weighs 8 pounds.
8 pounds, right.
Right.
But with an outstretched arm.
He didn't last very long.
No,
he didn't.
But that also produced one of the best lines in the movie.
Yeah.
Yes. When it's like, you killed my son.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Yes.
That's right, because he walks downstairs.
Yeah. Yes.
Howard is crawling down the parkway here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank catches it and goes, Howard Saint. Right? He turns around. Howard Saint.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You killed my sons. Or you killed my son.
Killed my son.
So, yeah.
And then
You killed my
explosion.
Ooh, both of them.
Yep.
And did it satisfy you guys the way he took out Howard?
Absolutely.
No.
Did it? No.
Not even
Yes?
a little bit.
No?
Not even a little bit.
It didn't bother me that much. I mean, I would have, the stupid flaming skull thing was dumb, but the fact that he let that car drag him and blow him up and
I
set
like
him on
that.
fire.
That part, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yes.
good. He shoots him,
Yes.
Yeah.
ties him to the back of his car, which crosses the street. I'm talking about having to like hit the steering wheel just perfect. Be like, all right, that's lined up. Let it
Right.
go. Perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Okay. The alignment on that car is mint.
Yep.
Straight into this. And he just hits the explosion all into a Punisher skull. And there goes Howard Saint.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Bird's eye view.
That's
Perfect
brutal.
skull.
Yeah.
So brutal is the name of the game as far as I'm concerned with this. And I don't know. It was okay. I guess they could have talked more, but he wouldn't. So
Well, that's just it. I wanted him to say a few more things. That was my only disappointment as far as feeling satisfied, is that I don't think he said enough to him
no.
before he killed him.
Nothing to say.
Not even, well, okay, so even him walking up to him with the pictures and like, I made you kill your wife, and now I've killed you.
Yeah.
No.
No, it didn't do it for you?
I've done a bunch of non-punishery things to you, so now I'm going to do a punishery thing to you. Are you sensing a theme here with?
And then we get the speech. We get the speech on the bridge of wherever there's. He goes home first, and he has his moment with Joni. I don't even give a crap about that, right?
You don't like that line?
Good memories save. You're right. Good memories can save your life.
I thought you read about my work.
Yeah.
Which section? Obituaries.
And don't forget to check the cupboard when you all get home.
Oh, that's right. He left him money.
That's from the comic.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
I know it is, but like it was just it didn't. I don't care. I didn't care.
I'm trying to get to the end. He goes on the bridge and he's like, wherever there's people getting robbed or raped or killed, I'll be there. I'm the Punisher.
I have a very specific list of people I'm willing to kill. They are as follows:
That's right.
rapists, murderers, sadists.
Psychos and sadists.
Yeah.
It rhymes, by
Right.
the way.
And that's the end of the movie. Dang.
Yay!
And then
This
we get drowning pool.
We got to get through this. We're already at 2 hours. We haven't even done the awards yet.
Roll
I'm
it.
excited because first things first, okay? We have to answer the most important question. How would Arnold Schwarzenegger make this movie better?
By replacing Rebecca Romaine Stamo.
I've been in 7 cities, and every time I find that one man who treats me like garbage. Okay?
Memories.
I'm sick of it. A good memory will save your life. I can't make out with you. I'm sorry. I'm not what you're looking for. Clearly.
Girly man.
That's right. You're not what I'm looking for. Look at your pecs. They're pathetic.
Actually, they're pretty awesome.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you could have him be... Wouldn't you want to see Arnold as the Punisher?
No.
Too big.
What? He's too big. Ray Stevenson's huge in that movie.
He's not that
he's
big,
the perfect
though.
size.
Ray Stevenson's not that big.
No.
Punisher was never jacked.
No.
No.
Well, he's jacked, but he's not like bodybuilder jacked.
Okay.
He's like Ray Stevenson. He's just a big dude that's got big muscle, like Jack Reacher, I would say. Something like that.
What about him as Dave?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Right?
Bunch of piercings.
Just a bunch of piercings and
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
You think you know pain, boy? You seem very familiar, actually. You're a very big disappointment on your mother and your father. Stop it.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
And Bumpo's like, who is the guy? He's a cop, you idiot. Come on. Where would you stick Arnold then in this movie? You got to put him somewhere.
Bumpo.
I would make him be Johnny.
Which one's Johnny?
Johnson.
The son.
Oh, the son?
Yeah.
John Travolta's son?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, but your brother is dead. Every time they show Johnny, we talk about this, it's some chick in a thong just hanging out with him in his house.
You know where your mother is? It's
Yeah.
Thursday, Pop.
It's Thursday, Pop. It's thong day. Leave me alone.
It's thong day.
Get out of here.
He would be great as Bumpo. That would be awesome.
I don't know how to do Arnold singing opera.
You can't do the opera.
That's perfect.
Is it gonna make a delicious iced Florentine?
Come with me, Dave. They're gonna bang.
David, now.
They're gonna bang.
Let's go fix you up.
So, on your way out, you can help me. Come on.
We got to go so they can bang.
So Tim Bjerthoff, he said my Arnold placement would be for Tom Jane. Not because Tom was bad by any means. I would kind of like to see Arnold fight big, sexy Kevin Nash. A Nash-Arnold fight would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it
That's
throws
like
off.
bears hugging.
It throws off the point of the scene is that he's
Power dynamic.
overpowered, right?
Yeah.
When he throws the boiling water in his face, he could say, "Soup's on." Then Kevin could tear his quad as he's thrown down the stairs. No, Kevin's quads. They tear when he walks to the refrigerator.
No.
Also, when he shoots John Travolta, he could say, "I made you kill your best friend and kill your wife." Yeah, that'd be good. Tim, I think that's a good one, man. We've also got Adam Lofton playing along, and he says, for Arnold, man, there's so many opportunities to put him in. I would say the Russian, except make him the T-800 and Fake Castle dies to make him the Punisher himself. Listen, you are terminated, and I will replace you. I'm a replicant.
That's funny because I thought the same thing when we were talking about the revolving door of bad guys.
That's right.
Like we got Harry Heck, the Russian, and then just for throw the T-800 in there.
Why not? Call the T-800.
Call Skynet.
Call Skynet.
Call Skynet.
It's ridiculous.
T-800.
Bring in a xenomorph.
Knocks on the door. Instead of Sarah Guns, Frank Castle. Yes. It can't be bargained with. All right, now I'm getting into Michael Biehn. We got Michael Sullivan playing along, and he says Howard Saint would have been better than Travolta. No, he misses his family, and he wants to die. Yeah, let's help him out. That scene was weird, too. We kind of skipped over that one.
No.
Or, it's your duty to make Castle dead. Also, the final fight with Castle would have been a lot better instead of the quick 2 minutes of shared screen time between Travolta and Jane. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was just the fact that they had no shared screen time at all. I don't know what it was. I'm trying to grasp at straws to figure out why that whole dynamic didn't work.
Because of that.
Lucas Layton playing along, and he says the obvious choice would be the Russian, but nah, I think he would have been a great Howard Saint, even though I love John. He's definitely intimidating and definitely hasn't played enough villains, so I think it'd be a blast. Listen to me. Don't touch the Cubans, and don't forget, we've got more guns than you. Right here, you see how much bigger they are? Like this?
Two of them are.
No, like
sure.
this. Instead, stop it. And then finally playing along, Jamie Rhodes, and he says, well, I like Thomas Jane. He does not look or feel like the Punisher. I grew up reading a lot of the Punisher comics, and Arnold would fit more as the Punisher than Thomas Jane, except for the accent. Yeah, I think that'd be the weird thing, because at the end he's like, send up some champagne. It's coming right up. He'd be like, okie dokie. That's definitely not Eddie.
That is not Eddie down there.
Is Eddie German?
Oh, I think we could find some good spots for him. All right. Well, let's start giving some awards. And guys, there is an award that we give out, and I think you all know that have been listening for a while. This is a special one today. It's the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans. What are you doing with a gun in space?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I got to add a Quentin Glass quote into the montage now, right? So either you think you know pain, boy, or I don't want the karma of your death on my soul or something in there. I got to have it.
Could just add the end of it.
Yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Or that one too. That'd be good. Good stuff. All right, Tim's going to kick us off, and he says, my Will Patton is going to be John Travolta. Travolta is always awesome as the bad guy, and this movie's no different. I think we all win when Will Patton and Travolta share screen time. David, who is your Will Patton nominee?
Well, I'm between two things here, and I think that, the obvious choice is Will Patton. But I got to give it to Travolta too.
What?
I think that as far as intensity goes, he was intense for being the bad guy in the movie. I don't know. It was good. I liked him. I liked his parts of intensity. I thought that he was good. So John Travolta's my vote.
Howard Saint is okay,
but he's intense.
Is he though?
And when he kills his best friend, and what you can't tell me he's not. When he's standing in the living room kicking furniture, and when he tosses his wife over the bridge.
Yeah, for that scene.
But
he was such a milktoast villain to me.
Well, that's intense, though.
All right. Hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion,
even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong. Adam says, for Will Patton Award, Mr. Will Patton is in this movie, and even though he is very intense and convincing gay man, I have to give it to Thomas Jane. What is happening, people?
There's some craziness going on.
He is just so smolderingly, intensely in this movie, and roll Adam.
Oh, James, you want it so bad.
Yes!
You want it so bad.
Thomas Jane, I can get there. The 2 votes for Travolta have sent me off into somewhere. I don't know where.
Well, he was intense.
Bob.
It's the reward for intensity, not for we want this guy to win.
But I don't think
not
it's
for
just,
we want this guy to win his own award.
I'll save mine until it's my turn. Bob.
Do it, Bob. Do it.
just speak your heart.
Travolta.
Tell me that this is a joke, that you're trying to mess with me.
No, I'm not trying to mess with you.
Travolta, you're serious?
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd really do
What the
it.
hell is going on in here?
When he's brushing his dead son's hair.
You're going to get your moment.
When he's brushing his dead son's hair.
Oh, yeah, he brushed that hair more intensely than Will Patton tore nose rings out of Bro's face. Michael Sullivan. Will Patton. Obviously, it's Will Patton. He tells no lies as Quentin Glass was pretty competent in being a right-hand man, despite making sure Castle was dead when he poured gas on the dock. And I definitely believed him torturing Spacker Dave. Thank you, Michael Sullivan. It's 1-3 right now.
But other than him being intense with a couple of speeches, he doesn't do much.
He doesn't have... I'll wait for my turn. Ryan?
This is a tough one because there's a lot of really great intensity in this movie all around the board. John Travolta is really great. Tom Jane brings it as the Punisher. Ben Foster just crushes it.
Can't forget Roy Scheider.
No, you know what? Roy Schneider, who there should have been more of in this movie. But you know what? At the end of it all, Will Patton.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. But you're not just doing that, right? To make me happy? You believe it?
No. Look, Quentin Glass.
Your eyes are closed.
Quentin Glass is leaps and bounds a better villain than Howard Saint. And if the movie was just about Quentin Glass and had nothing to do with Howard Saint, that is 10 times a better movie.
Yeah, I really appreciate you said that. Okay.
But it's not.
Okay. It's 3-2 now.
All right.
Lucas Layton. Come on. Obviously, it's just Will Patton, Lucas says. I wholeheartedly believe his death is one of the most convincing and kind of heartbreaking experiences in a movie. Also, when he's ripping piercings out of Ben Foster's face, he plays it straight, which is terrifying. Thank you, Lucas. 3-3, but not for long. It's about to be 4-3 because my vote is for Will freaking Patton. Because, he doesn't do much. He doesn't have to do much. The guy sits in a men's clothing store and could almost light the clothes on fire with his intensity. Just standing there. I feared for the man's life when he asked him about underpants. Okay? And when he's sitting in the hotel, or even when he just gets out of the car at the when they're trying to kill him on the dock.
Even when he's opening his safe.
When he just opens his safe.
Just takes that picture off the wall and is like...
when the guy calls him about the picture, like, you listen here, like... Dude.
And gets hung up on.
Yeah.
He comes back. He plays that scene with Travolta, the scene with Mickey in the beginning, the scene with Dave. I am not just giving him this award because his name is Will Patton. I know for a fact there's other movies I've seen Will Patton in where he doesn't play it like this, and I wouldn't give it to him. So I just want to clear the air. I'm not just doing this. I think he legit earns it in this movie.
I said on the last episode I did when we said we were doing The Punisher, and I said, a Will Patton movie where he's not going to win the Will Patton Award. I said that on that episode. It's on record. And then I watched this last night, and I ate my words because I was like, you know what? It's been a long time since I've seen The Punisher. Yeah. And yes, I did remember more of Travolta, like, as I was thinking, like, Travolta was really good as Howard Saint.
Yeah.
And then watching this last night, and I was like, no. Please let's see a movie about Quentin Glass.
I was never afraid of Howard Saint.
No.
I was afraid of Quentin Glass.
Yes.
Well, like I said, it was between these two.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was like it was all going to be John Travolta. It's just John Travolta edged him out with throwing his wife over a bridge and having her get hit by a
That was
train.
pretty bad.
His confusion about it was what sold me. Yeah.
It's not over. There's one vote left. And if they went John Travolta, then it's a tie.
Okay.
And we could have a split winner. So it's coming down.
Who is it coming down to?
Jamie Rhodes here.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he says, well, there are a lot of people who are intense in this movie. My Will Patton will have to go to Will Patton. He is always intense in everything he does.
Thank God, because I'm relatively sure your head would have exploded if this didn't go to Will Patton. You would have ended the podcast forever.
I know there's only been in two. He won it both times. He won it in The Postman also, but that was a no-brainer. I mean, come on. I know there will be a time where it happens. I think this one would have upset me because I really think he should have. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like in another one, like he's in Roadhouse 2.
Yeah.
I have to assume it's a dog crap movie, and he's probably not that great in it.
Roadhouse 2?
Wait, the one with
the straight to he was like there's like a straight to DVD Roadhouse 2 that came out after the other one that Will Patton is in.
Okay.
So I have to assume like there's other ones out there, but anyway. I'm fine, guys. Let's move on because we have to give out an award for the worst actor in the movie, the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
All right, boys. We're going to kick off things here again with Tim. And Tim says, my trash can is going to go to John Panette. I love his stand-up and was saddened when he died, but he is not a good actor, and the movie was a wrong choice for him. Was he Bumpo?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's Bumpo.
Well, he passed away. That's sad. I didn't realize. All right, so that's a vote for Bumpo. Dave, I promise I'm not going to get mad about this one.
Well, I will definitely be giving this to Rebecca Romaine Stinks Most because she was god-awful. And she is good to look at, and that's awesome. But that can't carry the bucket of water all the time. And especially with something like this where nobody cares about feelings. It's the freaking Punisher.
Nobody.
And she was the only one that cared. So
100%.
She can stink all she wants. I'll still smell her.
Adam Lofton gave it to James Carpinello as Bobby Saint. I'm sorry, not menacing. Didn't care whether he lived or died. So this is the kid that gets shot right in the beginning of the movie.
No, it's both of them.
Right. Oh, did he play both of them?
they were twins?
Yes. James Carpinello plays Bobby and Johnny.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
Oh, well, perfect. Bob, who is your trash can winner?
That's a toughie. John Travolta.
Travolta. Mm-hmm. Really?
That's 2 for 2?
Yeah.
Yes. I love the double Will Patton trash can vote whenever that happens.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's Travolta. For equally as he was menacing for the couple of scenes that he was in, for as equally as he was terrible. For
all of it?
Yeah.
You didn't like the all of it part?
Oh, I got to get the hair. All of it!
I'm so jealous.
Don't touch
you
the
can
camera.
do bits with your hair.
I love Travolta as much as the next guy, but
no, I love Travolta. Please,
yeah,
I love
he gets the trash can.
It wasn't even fun Travolta like in Broken Arrow. You know what I mean?
It wasn't
like,
fun Travolta.
Give me chewing the scenery Travolta any day of the week for sure. All right, Mike Sullivan says, what are you doing with the knife in my house? No, I missed that from the last one for Will Patton. Steven Seagal, he goes, it's kind of a toss-up. Travolta, as Howard's saying, is like a guy that just fell into this criminal life and doesn't know how to handle Castle. If he could have hired 10 guns to kill him, should have done that at the moment Castle resurfaced. But Stamos as Joan trying to help or sleep with Castle, which makes him drop his guard at the worst moment and nearly cost him his life. Oh, she did kind of cost him his life almost.
Yeah, because he put the gun away.
Yeah, I'm going with Rebecca Romaine for the trash can. You could have thrown that blue dress onto a trash can and it'd be the same.
It would not be the same.
But
it would be way less pretty to look at.
Who said that?
This was Michael Sullivan.
Calls himself Magnolia fan.
Yeah, he does.
I'm just kidding.
It's all good. Farrell.
All right. Rebecca Romaine Stamos is very misunderstood in this movie. I can't say she's a trash
Please
can.
elaborate.
I can't say she's a trash can.
I don't want to elaborate.
But
You'll be here till Inception 3 comes out.
They have to make a whole second one first. That's going to be a long time. Okay.
Just want to let you know, though, we made Inception 2 inside a bar soap, inside a monkey's anus.
Inception 2 is actually inside of Inception 3.
You just did the thing that... All right, go on.
Look, James Carpinello as Bobby, Johnny, whatever you want to call it. Yes, total monkey boy Italian BS. The only reason this guy got this role is because he's like a handsome, suave Italian boy. Like, he sucks.
We're not affiliated with him.
He sucks.
Just all of our Italian listeners now.
He's not menacing, like Adam had said. He's not menacing. He's not intimidating. When he does his random kickboxer moment at the dock, and then when he's like, "My father sends his regards," like, shut up.
It's like that meme.
It is. He is. Every scene he's in, or he's like, "Hey, Pop, where's Mom?"
So it's 2-2 right now between Bobby and Rebecca Romaine, right, at this point. And is it 2 for Travolta or just 1 for Travolta?
Just
I think
one.
just one,
Just
right?
me.
All right. Lucas Layton says, I hate to say it, but I think I have to go with Roy Scheider.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What? Frackin' Chief Brody himself hurts to my core, but he's just phoning it in and pretty wooden for me anyway. Y'all can hate me. Well, it's not about hating you personally, Lucas. We don't hate you. I can totally disagree with your take.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
I thought he was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, he was totally fine.
He was fine. Full on dad mode. Look, I'm going to break the tie, and I got to go with, you're going to die tonight, aren't you?
So bad. She's so bad.
So bad. Dude, there's a reason she fizzled out as an actor. Because
she wasn't really an actor.
No, she rode the Sports Illustrated thing, which respect to her, and got herself into X-Men and then made a few more movies. But even in X-Men, she's not even good at Mystique.
She doesn't have to do anything as Mystique.
I know, and it's still bad.
Yeah.
What's my least favorite thing about the first X-Men movie? You know.
Mystique beating Wolverine.
Beating the crap out of Wolverine. Yeah. Are you freaking
How is that
kidding
Rebecca
me?
Romaine's fault?
It's not, but it just reminded me of how pissed off I get every time I see Wolverine get his ass handed to him by Mystique. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Absolutely. That's nonsense.
What?
Right.
No.
You don't get his powers.
No.
You just look like her.
Just look like, it's ridiculous. All right. But I'm going with Rebecca Romaine. And then finally here, Jamie Rhodes comes in and says, John Travolta's wife, Olivia.
Yes.
While she's nice to look at, there's not much for me to remember about her. I actually forgot about her since I last saw her. Yeah, I mean, she was
actually
she was fine.
She was on my short list for trash can.
Yeah.
Laura Herring.
She wasn't great, but I thought there were people that were way worse.
Yes.
Personally.
Yeah.
But that means that Rebecca Romaine Stamos, probably the second greatest honor since being on the cover of Sports Illustrated, is going to win the Trash Can Full of Dirt award. I'm going to win this award, aren't I?
I didn't give it to you.
No, you didn't. No.
Yeah, if she's listening to this, I just want her to know that you're really pretty.
Yeah.
Screw John Stamos.
That's right.
Yeah, he's
I
an
don't think
idiot.
they're together anymore anyway. But yeah, screw him anyway, because forget that guy. The next award we give out is for our unsung hero, which means it's an actor that had a small role, but really made the movie better for their short amount of screen time. Let's get it.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Yeah, right. Then there are those few who are. you some kind of a badass karate boy?
Yeah. All right. And Tim kicks us off and says, Mark Colley as Henry Heck. His arrival was great when he comes into the diner and sings his song to Frank. I would like to have seen more of him, but his short screen time was great. So we got to vote for Harry Heck out the gate. What do you got for me, Dave?
Well, I got exactly what you want here, which is Will Patton. Because he made the movie so much better. Absolutely. It's just, if we're talking intensity, not as intense as Travolta was. So Will Patton will be getting the...
Don't you think his role's a little too big?
It might be. I mean, it's borderline.
Borderline.
He's not in it all that much. He's got a couple scenes that last a couple minutes, but he's a
But they last a lifetime.
But when he hands him, the envelope, and he's like, "Come on, that's a good scene."
Yeah, they're all good scenes. That's why I'm saying
Yeah. Adam Lofton said Steve James goes to Kevin Nash. That whole fight scene was amazing. If it wasn't for the boiling water and stairs, I think Kevin Nash would have beat Thomas Jane. Well, geez. All right, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
Bob, who's your unsung hero?
Kevin Nash.
Bro.
Okay. Okay.
All he has to do is give a half. I think his only acting is like the half smile that he's like, at one point and shows his teeth. That's it.
And he's stoned.
And actually selling.
Yeah.
Actually selling, getting burned too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That too. Well, he's a good seller. That's fine.
Finger poke of doom.
Come on, man. He sold the crap out of that.
For you wrestling fans that know what the finger poke of doom is.
Mike Sullivan said Kevin Nash. The fight between him and Jane was epic. I only wish they had established his character a little more, maybe show that he's in the employ of the Turos or some other crime family, or have him survive the fall down the stairs to come back near the end of the movie for another fight, something. But that's a third vote now for Kevin Nash. Who you got, Ryan?
Dude, this is a movie of unsung heroes.
Lots of little.
Because Mark Colley as Harry Heck, it's a great, for 2-3 minutes of screen time that Mark Colley actually has. Kevin Nash, one scene, one of the best cinematic fight scenes I've ever seen. And who said Roy Scheider for the trash can?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say once again, like, as Frank Castle Sr., I would have loved to have seen just a little bit more Roy Scheider and kind of establishing that dynamic. But for me, I go with Ben Foster because everything that Ben Foster does, for me anyway, like he did a rom-com called Get Over It, and he's awesome in it. And then he goes from like a rom-com to playing a complete burnout to then playing a psycho in just all the same kind of like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to play a psycho. Now I'm going to play a lieutenant in the army. Like, Ben Foster disappears in the stuff that he does.
Phenomenal actor.
And I go him for...
And an unsung career. When do you ever hear people talk about Ben Foster all that much?
At this point, he's never been nominated for an Oscar, and he's one of those actors that I'm like, I feel like he justifiably could at least have 2 nominations.
Easily.
But don't you think he was in the movie a little too much?
I think so too.
This guy.
But the same reason why I'm not picking Ben Foster as much as I love him is I thought his part
was borderline.
Was too big. Yeah,
I was just saying that because you said that. I totally agree.
Lucas says Kevin Nash. He crushes it as the Russian. He's everything that character needed to be. Also, didn't he actually get stabbed? Yeah, crazy. True, Lucas. Look, I'm just going to keep going. Let the train roll. I'm going to go Kevin Nash, partially because I'm a mark for Kevin Nash, and I love that guy. Met him once with Bob. Was the coolest, nicest dude.
Very cool, nice guy.
Ever. And we chatted
Did you
with
not
us.
talk to him too?
No, he actually talked to him.
I actually talked to him. Yeah, I got a picture with him and everything. I didn't stutter, didn't do anything. It was
perfect.
We tried to walk away, and he stopped us because he wanted to keep talking to us.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
we didn't want to take up too much time. It was just a line, and he was running late.
Yeah.
And once he got there, I think we're like the first few in line. And
huge dude,
very big.
This would have been after he shot Punisher too, because it was in TNA at that point.
This is 2006.
Yeah, a couple of years after this.
Yeah, and
good stuff.
We said hello, and
you got a Kevin Nash figure signed, didn't you?
I got a figure and a picture with him, and we go to just hightail it. He goes, oh, whoa, hold on. I go, yeah, what's going on? And he goes, you guys coming to the show, right? And we're like, yeah, all right, cool. You be there? Yeah, I'll be there too.
Were you going?
Yeah.
It was just like Nash just asked us for going to the show.
Stuff.
Would you lie to him?
No.
No.
Humongous individual.
Well, I would lie to him if he was like, you coming to the show? You damn right. Of course I'm coming to the show.
If I wasn't going to the show, yes, I would still say I'm going.
Jamie Rhodes says, my unsung hero would have to go to the great Kevin Nash. It was awesome to see him here, and he did definitely do some destruction. So while there were lots of little great parts, Kevin Nash is definitely I mean, when I hadn't seen this for a long time, it was one of the only scenes I remembered from the movie. So, I mean, Kevin Nash definitely sticks out.
I think it won the MTV award for best fight.
Did it?
I think it did.
Well, now he wins the Unsung Hero Award,
I think it did, didn't it?
I don't know.
That's awesome.
MTV movie awards were like in June. This came out in April. This had it.
Nice.
I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure this won best fight.
Well, guys.
Sorry to talk over the audience.
No, dude. That's what clapping is to be talked over. It's time for us to land the plane. And so there's been a lot of...
Clapping needs to be talked over.
No, it's there to be... it's audio. I don't intend to be like...
You sound like a 1940s newscaster. That doesn't matter. They're orphans.
Let them talk. All right. Those people that made those clapping noises are long dead. They don't care.
See? That applause ain't real.
You know how many people are dead in that cemetery? All of them. They should dig them up and plant tomatoes.
That's right. The bastards taking up all that real estate. Get them out of there. Dingy, dead bastards. All right.
You moved the tombstones, but you didn't move the bodies, did you?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow.
You didn't move the bodies. Talk about somebody going hard. Craig T. Nelson. Oh, man. Good stuff. All right. So there's been a lot. I'm really interested to see how this goes because there has been a lot of arguing, which I love. We haven't had a good arguing episode in a long time.
I mean, we were talking over each other.
Yeah, it was perfect. So I can't wait to see what happens with this. We're going to get right to it, okay? So we'll start here with Tim. Tim says, I loved this movie when I first saw it. I'm a sucker for revenge stories. It's sad we didn't get a Tom Jane sequel because I think it would have ruled. So I'm going to give this a good movie straight up. It's about perfect, but the violence made up for, or it's not perfect, but the violence made up for that. Thanks for allowing me to participate. I love your show and wish you a tremendous 2025. Tim, we love you, man. Thanks for it. We got a good movie vote straight out the gate.
Boom.
What do you got for me, Dave?
Well, the scale needs to be balanced here. So I kind of said this in the beginning, but as far as comic book movies go, I kind of live in the world of make it for the people that give a care about it, not for the people that aren't going to see it. I feel like this movie was made for the audience, for the movie theater, for the popcorn, not for the people, the casual, right? And that's why Punisher was quippy. He was making jokes. He was using popsicles. He was doing a bunch of stuff that the Punisher doesn't do. And I saw this movie. I bought the soundtrack. I watched it a bunch when I was younger. So it's not like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But watching it last night, it's a bad movie.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Wow.
Bad movie. So sorry. But let me say this. There are shiny parts of this pig. There are moments in this movie where he's a very good Punisher, and Dirty Laundry is an amazing little short film with Thomas Jane as the Punisher that is really good, and everybody should go out and look at that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not saying that there weren't moments, but as a movie altogether is bad.
All right.
So.
Adam Lofton, who always joins us whenever we do a comic book movie, says, now this movie isn't comic book accurate, but it's such a great action movie. So for me, this is a good movie, full stop. This used to be in my rotation, and it might make it back now. The Punisher Warzone is a great, more comic book movie, and I can't wait for you guys to do that one. Fun fact, Punisher's first appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man 129 in 1974, depicted as an assassin and adversary of Spider-Man's. So there you go.
See,
now we got all the details there.
Me and Adam need to talk more.
I know. Seriously. Thanks, Adam. We always appreciate you, man. Bob, you've got the floor. What are your final thoughts now that you've revisited The Punisher?
Good movie.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So it didn't change at all in the interim.
No, I saw more of the mistakes that I did when I was younger. Okay. So I respect where Dave is coming from on what he said. I agree with it, but at the same sense, I look at it and I go, I had so much fun watching this movie.
Okay. Can I ask you a question as far as, I'm glad you had fun. Where would you put Thomas Jane with the other three Punishers?
If I had to pick my Punisher scale, it would be Ray Stevens 1, Lundgren 2, Bernthal, Tom Jane.
Lundgren over Bernthal?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I have to go back and watch that. I haven't seen it in 30 years.
Very underrated, very misunderstood.
Okay.
I actually he was very Punisher. I mean, it would have been great if they had the skull as opposed to just on his knife.
Sure.
Right.
Or how they had his face shadow looking like a skull view. It's certain.
I got to go back and see. Maybe I'll probably just wait till we do the episode so I'm watching it fresh. But yeah, I'm interested to see it again. That's cool. I meant to ask you the same, and I forgot to. So how would you put the Punishers in order?
I would say Ray Stevenson 1, Bernthal 2, Lundgren 3. times Jane 4th.
Jane 4th.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So you enjoyed the movie, but Jane still.
I think Jane was the one that you could tell was trying. Like, this is not a knock on him.
No.
This is just like 2004, 2003. They're still trying to figure it out. He's trying to. He even said he wanted to be more like Taxi Driver.
Right.
He, in that sense,
which would have been better.
So, yeah, that's the other reason why he dipped out on the sequel. It was more comic book than it was the way he thought it. So I mean, I think he did the best he could with what he got.
And I'm glad he got to reprise it in Dirty Laundry.
I'm proud that he did Dirty Laundry.
Yeah.
That he financed it himself and he got Ron Perlman to do it. So, I mean,
good.
Would I love to see another Punisher movie with Tom Jane? Yes, absolutely.
I think he should get another one.
I think he should get another one. I was disappointed he wasn't in Deadpool Wolverine because that would have been a great.
Why would they have done that?
No.
Money?
It could have been him. It could have been a lot of things. But
Reynolds said they did have to stop on some of the cameos just from a budgetary standpoint. So I mean,
he would have done it for free. I guarantee it.
He probably would have done it for nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to get one final last hurrah is
the only thing that movie was missing.
Was Tom Jane as Punisher.
I didn't even care that Ben Affleck wasn't in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they paid Wesley Snipes like $40 for doing that movie.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right. Mike Sullivan says, The Punisher being one of my favorite comic book characters, I have seen this movie in theaters and several times. Some of the choices made for the story could have been improved, like the criminals trying to prevent another attack, changing the way the money is sent or where, dummy loads, or dealing with Castle. If they knew where he was, why didn't they just send a bunch of guys over to kill him? That's what
they did know where he was, and they still failed to do that.
But overall, it's a fairly enjoyable movie, so it's a good movie that rules. Wow. Everybody right now, 4 good movies, 1 bad movie.
That's why it sits at a 6.4, man.
That's wow. Farrell, you have the 4.
Call me when Inception 4 comes out.
Inception 4 is hidden in Inception 3.
Yes.
And Inception 3 is inside your ass.
We're in Inception 4 right now.
Yeah, we are in Inception 4.
Wait, give me a top.
Oh, it's not spitting. Dang it.
Why could I get a Terminator 3 of James Cameron instead I get 5 Avatar movies I didn't ask for?
Look, The Punisher, as it's made, there are a lot of flaws. The screenplay is very all over the place. It doesn't know if it wants to focus on the relationship with his roommates or apartment people, whatever. Because, there's the scene where he's like, Dave, how come you didn't tell him about me? He's like, because we're family, man. And it's like, yeah, you've known him for a week. Yeah. What? Okay, so where's the development there? Yeah. We don't know. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I was playing this long con with the Saints, but then we're just going to forget about that for 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's just going to work out. That doesn't make any sense. And to your point, the Punisher's doing all this weevil wobble, doing this, coming backward, then I'm going sideways, then this, then the other. No, let's just get down to Frank Castle blowing up and shooting people. I get it. This movie is not the Punisher in the sense of a comic book movie. It is written for people. That's it. A casual, hey, let's see how much money we can make off of this, and we'll just gloss over the fandom of it all. But I think it is a good movie, full stop. It is a movie that I saw in theaters.
Wow.
I saw it in theaters, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, that's not what I thought it was going to be, but I really enjoyed that. And over the years, as I've talked about it with people, it's a movie. I haven't seen this movie that many times. And to be honest, I wasn't even going to watch it last night because I'm like, I literally could recall so much of this film from just 2 or 3 viewings. I think Jonathan Hensley, he tried. He gave it. His heart was there. Tom Jane has said, I loved playing Frank Castle. But to everyone else's point, Ray Stevenson is the best Punisher. John Bernthal is a close runner-up. Dolph Lundgren's pretty fun. Tom Jane is very low on the Punisher scale.
Yeah.
But once again, did he actually get his true shot? Because Tom Jane loves it and wants to do it. So in the end, I think it's a well-made movie.
All right.
I think there's parts that are clunky, but man, it works out and it holds up 20 years later.
It just shouldn't have been called The Punisher.
That's a good take. And Lucas Layton brings it home and says, it's good. The one argument I could see for comic fans is the fact that it's not New York based, but removing that at its core, it's the perfect Punisher movie. Tom Jane crushes it. Travolta is great. The revenge plot and intrigue is top notch, and it couldn't get much better. I'm very glad John Bernthal is Punisher now, but this movie will always be special. Wow. It's been good movies across the board, Dave. What's Jamie going to say here? Jamie says, overall, I would have to say this is a bad movie that rules, as I said before. Thomas Jane, while he's a good actor, does not fit the Punisher that I know while I grew up watching Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, and the Netflix series was not bad. I think Marvel has yet to still find someone who really fits the part. Man. First bad, but he's only a bad movie that rules. So this has been pretty much good across the board. I think I'm just rephrasing something a lot of people have already said. I don't think this is a Punisher movie because I never got the sense that Thomas Jane was the Punisher. To me, it was somebody cosplaying as the Punisher. It was a cop that put the Punisher shirt on and did some vigilante cop stuff. And so I like Thomas Jane. I would like to see him get another crack. I would have loved to have seen him because now that they've figured it out, maybe he would do better. He was failed by a terrible script. He was failed by what ultimately is just a naivete about how to do these kind of movies back then in 2004. And they hadn't cracked the code on him yet. And so these guys were unfortunately the guinea pigs where they're like, well, don't do that next time. And they had to figure it out that way. It's not a good movie. There's, like I said, 20 minutes of stuff in here that I'm like, yes, pretty much every scene Will Patton's in, a couple of cool Punisher parts, the bow stretch when he comes in, all that stuff, where I'm like, yes, why couldn't they just have done this more? I'm with Dave, and I think it's a bad movie straight up because there's not enough where I'm like, I want to watch this again. I want to see Ray Stevenson's again because I personally would go John Berthal 1 and Stevenson 2 because I loved the Netflix series. I thought he was awesome. But I've only ever seen Warzone one time, so I got to watch it again. I might flip-flop it, I don't know. And then Lundgren, and then Jane. So it's not good. It's the worst Punisher that's ever been made to me. Sorry. So that's my final rating.
Apologies necessary.
Well, no, and see, the thing is that all of them, whether it's John Bernthal's series or all of them, they all try to give too many feelings to what is supposed to basically be a killing machine.
Right.
They're not. He's not supposed to be like. And the closest they get is Warzone, where like. But even that one,
there's a couple of moments where Ray Stevenson
like,
started to feel.
Don't you have feelings, member?
You just want to be like slaps himself.
Right.
Get your feelings back inside.
The murder of your family broke something in his head.
Wasn't he punching the tombstone in that movie?
Yeah, he's a nutcase. Yeah. And that's what he's supposed to be.
The thing about Warzone, too, and how they actually incorporate Jigsaw into Warzone, and it's like, all right, this is actually the Punisher versus Jigsaw,
right?
Which is his number one villain.
Yeah.
But Warzone, it's so brutal and it's so comic-y that Warzone almost doesn't work because it goes so far in the other direction.
Well, if you want to watch a Punisher movie...
No, I agree.
I
agree.
That's the closest Punisher movie you'll ever get.
Yeah.
Well, we're on to greener pastures, you guys. Next week, we're going to be reconvening. I think our boy Brian is back in next week. We can see who... I just had it pulled up. Why did I close it? We can just see who all's in here. We're going to have Ryan Madala, Steph Farrell is going to be back in, and Brian draws movies for No Escape. 1994, Ray Liotta.
Ernie Hudson and Stuart Wilson.
Lance Hendrickson's in it too, I think.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it.
You'll have fun.
I watched the trailer and I thought, man, people speak really highly of this movie, but it looks like it also might be the worst piece of crap I've ever seen when I watched the trailer.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It looks like a cheesy, like a cheese fest in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to watch
But that was in the 90s when they didn't know how to make trailers.
No, yeah.
Titanic has a terrible trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're doing in a world.
This was a full Dudikoff pick, so I'm excited to get in there and do No Escape.
Dude, awesome.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
All right, that's about what I'm expecting.
He's exactly right. That's exactly what it is.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's fun. It's fun. You'll have fun.
It is.
All right.
You'll have juicy material.
It is
perfect.
exactly what bad movies rule needs.
Perfect.
If there was a movie out there that's earning of that beautiful light behind you,
Yes.
it is No Escape.
No Escape from 94.
Yes.
I don't know how I missed it. That was right in my prime movie watching times right there. I just went.
It didn't really get, wasn't really that wide of a release there.
Well, join us for that next week, guys. And I want to say on behalf of Bob and Ryan and Dave, thank you guys for being here for The Punisher and surviving this argument. No flip-flops were thrown. I'm proud of everybody.
Not yet.
So, I mean, night's not over yet, right? So let's get out of here while the getting's good.
James loosening his shoes.
I was.
To throw at me?
If he had lost, damn, flip-flops were going to be flying.
Why are you unbuttoning your shirt?
To show you his Will Patton tattoo.
So take off all your clothes.
It's getting hot here, so take off all your clothes.
I just got Will Patton put it across my chest.
You like that? Unbutton your shirt a little bit.
A little bit more. Let the Austin Powers size rug out. It's bad.
It's not a rug, it's just another fist.
Everybody made fun of the hairy guy from Ninja 3, and I'm like,
I don't want to go swimming anymore.
Oh my God, that guy was so hairy.
yeah, bro. I know. He's my cousin.